NewstalkSTL.com/bill. Use code BILL10 for 10% off. On this Thursday, I'm thinking about inequality in the USA. The gap between the folks who live in big cities and those in rural areas is getting wider. That is the key to voting patterns in the future. There's a big difference in point of view in the countryside as opposed to the big cities like New York, LA, Chicago, Miami, San Francisco. That reality is hurting the Democratic Party right now and helping President Trump and the Republicans. Progressives have little perspective. They are not really in touch with what I call the folks. They aren't interested in justice, incarceration, and rational people know this. It's all tied into the Democratic Party. They support the progressive movement. Now, voters may not like Donald Trump or his policies, but I don't think many of them are going to vote for the far-left loons. They might stay home. A recent poll from the Washington Post finds Democrats are slipping in the national vote, 48% down to 45%, and that is a dead heat with the GOP as the midterms loom. Many Americans are finally waking up to the dangers posed by radical people, and that is a good thing. Back in a moment. For 250 years, home ownership has been the cornerstone of the American dream. But that dream is under attack for many across the USA due to the rise in title fraud. But you can protect yourself with 25% off home title locks, $1 million triple lock protection. Please go to HomeTitleLock.com today. Use promo code BILL25 at checkout. Don't let yourself become a victim. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Kenny Williams.
Good morning, Vic.
How you doing, baby?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. All right, big show today. It's Thursday. The great, the one, the only Kataline kicks us off. She's warming up in the bullpen right now. 9:25, one of our newer features called What the? Nate Lucas tried to steal my show on Monday.
You did pretty good. It was fun.
Nah, he sucked. It was bad.
It was terrible.
Terrible. Porcelli's Deli today. Very good, great Porcelli's Deli today. It's all about the life and times and career of Kenneth James Williams.
So odd to me.
It's going to be great. Michael Letts from Invest USA. Tony Kinnett, 11:25, a relatively new feature called Hail to the Chief from the president's rally yesterday in Georgia, and Chatbox at 11:41. Kenny, who is doing the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Well, Vic, from Walk Away, we got Brandon Straka.
Oh, yeah, he was with us a couple times, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fantastic. Okay, so this guy who set the fire outside the federal building, what did he think he was going to do with some fireworks?
I don't know.
He had a cart of some kind with all his weapons, machetes and hammers and a pellet gun, not even a real gun, a pellet gun. What did he think he was going to do?
Well, not only that, but he starts a concrete building on fire.
And he, the only, disturbing thing, he was a veteran. Veterans don't usually act like that. But he had mental illness as a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, mental illness is a runaway affliction in this country right now.
Totally. All right, Kenny, let's roll.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker?
I feel like using a Yiddish word, vermischt. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
You think that once Donald Trump is gone, it's the end of MAGA? I don't know if it's the end of that sort of attitude. I mean, the MAGA is the closest thing to the modern version of a Nazi party. This is America's version. It's the closest thing without the Holocaust and all that stuff. That sort of mindset. That's what MAGA is, because most intelligent people or logical people, when they get new information, and if that information is negative or not factual, then they change their minds. They go, oh, well, I wish I had known better. And now that I have this information, then I can readjust. No matter what no matter how many facts and how much information you give them about this presidency, about the policies, they don't change their minds, because they're really not voting for the price of eggs. They're voting for white supremacy. They're voting for power. They're voting to have a preeminent voice. They're afraid they've been co-opted by many people in the Republican Party and Donald Trump to think that their failures are due to something else, the other, the black person, the woman, the Latino, the immigrant, the migrant. That person is taking your job. That person is the reason that you don't have the financial or career success that you think that you should have. It's because of them. We want to take our country back. That's what MAGA is.
There you go, Karen. All that, the Holocaust and all that stuff.
I heard this. I can't even remember which jerk that was.
That was Don Lemon.
Oh, yeah.
They're so stupid. I mean,
I heard it. I probably tuned it out at some point, because not only is it pure projection, you just replace what he's saying and apply it to themselves, and you'll get much of the picture. They're the ones that blame everybody. They're the ones that are bigots. But beyond that, I hope I can say this without getting bleeped. They're talking out of their butt. He is. He's talking
you're
out
just
of his
such a
butt.
foul-mouthed person.
Wow, you
I
potty
wanted
mouth.
to say,
Oh my God.
don't you cuss on this
radio.
Yeah.
He's talking out of his ass.
There you go. That's what I like to see.
There you go.
That's what I really wanted to say.
But here's the thing. He starts talking about how MAGA is the new Nazi, German Nazis and all that. And he goes, well, without that Holocaust.
With
and
all
stuff,
that, all that burning people alive and massacring them and burying them in shallow graves. And
what a throwaway. I mean, it was such a throwaway.
Ignoramus.
It's almost like saying, well, the food is good with all that, cholesterol and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like saying some people did something on 9/11.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar.
And yeah, you did. You do get me worked up. Over the weekend, we heard that the people from the Smithsonian now believe, or this was, forgive me, sometimes I'm not getting the full story because my hair goes on fire and I have to go put it out. Politeness is now racist. Yes. But it's not bigoted to say, well, it's Nazi, but without all that Holocaust stuff.
Right.
That's not racist. That's not bigoted, hateful. Oh, come on.
Come on, people.
I mean, sometimes all you can do is laugh, but you don't want to laugh because it's so profoundly, deadly serious. These people are so stupid.
And I know that whatever podcast he was on probably has dozens of listeners, but, he still said it, you know what I mean? And we have to know, because he's running for president. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. These people are deluded. I mean, not that I don't want to take them seriously. I never was very impressed with Meghan McCain, but I heard she said, don't laugh and not take these communists seriously. You better take them seriously.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I've heard her say that I agree with.
Yeah.
And we have to take it seriously. But at some point, it is astounding what people will swallow or attempt to swallow and justify not only what they swallow, but what they're trying to get other people to swallow.
Yeah. May I read a post that you put on Twitter? Do you mind?
I would love if you'd do that. I may have put it up just for you. You never know.
Perfect. It was 12 hours ago.
Possible.
And it says, is Sean Hannity really that stupid to put the Colorado governor on his show because he lies about being against socialism? Does he know what's happened to Colorado? Does he know Polis wants desperately to be the POTUS and is using him as another useful idiot? Nah, he doesn't.
God, you would think that my hair is on fire all the time.
It is.
I'm utterly bald now.
I'm sure your husband walks around with a bucket behind you. Look, Karen's hair is on fire again.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reason I'm somewhat selective these days about what I watch, because it'll be more noise and fodder and it won't get picked up and stuff. And it's like, why should I keep setting my hair on fire? This one I just had to rant about because of my beloved hometown of Denver, Colorado. My parents were born in Denver, Colorado, on the Jewish hood on the west side.
The Jewish hood. Hey,
That's
you got
where
a
it
nickel?
It was the Jewish hood. And you know, I mean, it absolutely breaks my heart what has happened to Colorado, all of Colorado, but in particular Denver. And this jerk, Sean Hannity, who can only repeat himself, I thought you'd like it because I know that Sean Hannity is not exactly one of your favorite people. But to do that and for Republicans to fall for it, Polis is not stupid. He's wanted to be president for 20 years now. He bought himself his first elected office. He's worth about half a billion. I looked it up. He doesn't have as much as I thought. But he self-finances. He probably couldn't self-finance a presidential campaign. But he's always trying to set himself apart and set himself up for the next thing. And he doesn't vote. He's so, what is it? He plays the long game so carefully that he won't vote for anything that the insane communist Colorado legislature, which has complete control over Colorado, does. He lets it happen. He never speaks out against it. He never vetoes it. And so dumb conservatives, if you can call them that, Sean Hannity gives them a platform. Right. What's wrong with him?
He does
he's got to go to Colorado. Go take a trip to Denver and see what's happened if you have any clue of what Denver used to be like.
He does no preparation for that show. I think interns or whatever does the research and stuff, and he has relied on, like you said, saying things over and over again, right? Because he's got them memorized. He also puts a lot of investment into. Well, we've known each other a long time. Right? When he was at the National Republican Convention in Milwaukee, my wife and I played a drinking game. Let's see how many times he said, we've known each other a long time. We were drunk after the first 10 minutes.
It's all about him. Remember when in theater we used to say, phoning it in?
Yep.
That's what he
absolutely.
Seems like. He
and the
phones it in.
worst interviewer in all of media, him and Laura Ingraham share the prize of the worst interviewers ever. Because they can't figure out after 20. He tells us how many years he's been at Fox. Saying all that time, Sean, you've never figured out the delay and how the delay works. And when you say something, the guest doesn't hear it for a couple seconds. But this is the reason why I like to bring up Sean Hannity, because he's up against, on the radio here in St. Louis, our afternoon show of Tim Jones and Chris Arps. And I always implore people to listen to Tim and Chris instead of stupid Sean Hannity.
I think we're going to have to be calling him stupid Sean Hannity.
I'm good with that.
I have no problem, as the Democrats like to say, calling out dumb Republicans. Many of them are corrupt. Many of them are in bed with Democrats, so they can go to the right parties, so they can sell out and make sure the Democrats will allow them to get reelected. And they deserve to be called out for that. They're the people that have been standing in the way of election integrity right now. And if people aren't furious and a little bit with their hair on fire, keep a little water next door, just so that you don't disintegrate completely. I'm melting. But do be angry because we have every reason to be angry. They've shown themselves again and again and again. We keep giving them the majority and they keep squandering. No, they keep betraying us.
Karen, one thing that frustrates me about Sean Hannity just by itself is that as a producer of this show, and I grab clips all the time, I can never get one from any of his guests because he's always interrupting them. And it really pisses me off because they're at a perfect point, and then he goes, but anyway, he jumps right in there. And by the way, Ed Stoit needs to say something to you.
Hello, this is Ed Stoit. Hey, Karen, how you doing?
Just had to throw that out there because I saw it on there.
He does that in such a non-Italian way. Can I hear how a real Italian says, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I was hoping Vic would do it, but that's good enough.
I'll do it anyway if you want.
Please, I want to hear it.
Hey, how you doing?
See, that's how you do it.
Because you got to bring the voice down a little bit, right? You're trying to get her to,
right?
Hey, how you doing?
Could you do one more for me? Forget about it.
Forget about it.
That's it. Forget about it.
You know, we play a clip a lot from Donnie Brasco. Have you seen the movie Donnie Brasco?
Yes, a long time ago.
Michael Franzese calls Al Pacino's part in that the best portrayal of a mob guy ever. And,
really?
Yeah, but that's not what I'll talk about. So Paul Giamatti plays an FBI guy along with Donnie Brasco, and he says to him, "You have it?" What? No, okay. He says, Paul Giamatti says, "What's forget about it?" And
hey, can I ask you something?
Here we go.
What's forget about it? What is that?
Forget about it. It's like if something is the greatest thing in the world, like minga those peppers, forget about it, you know? Sometimes it just means forget about it.
All right. Thank you very much. I got it.
So the greatest thing about that is he uses he uses an Italian phrase minchia, which kind of means forget about it. So it's kind of
forget about it. It's one syllable. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. And not only that, I noticed the delivery with his. It's like he's half asleep.
He was trying to drink a beer and rest because he's been undercover with these mob guys, risking his life. Yeah.
Because that's part of the what is it, saunter? What was it that Frank Sinatra had? He had swagger. It's part of the Italian swagger.
He had swagger, for sure.
I don't have enough energy to answer you, but I will.
Forget about it. Get those peppers. All right, Karen. Always great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Have a great weekend.
My pleasure. Good to have you back. Hope you're feeling better.
I'm feeling great. I was nothing wrong. God, you're such a Jew. You worry so much.
Everybody was asking.
Don't make me worry about you.
Everybody's asking. So what's wrong with Vic? Why is he out? I'm like, well, he just wants to take a little time off.
I was up pacing the floor, worrying about you. Thanks, Karen.
Okay, good to have you back.
Thank you.
See you, Karen.
See you, bye. Bye.
Did I get the impression there was something wrong about Monday and Tuesday?
No, but we didn't really say anything about it. Just I'm taking off a couple days.
People take days off all the time?
Well, you never know.
What the hell does that
nobody
mean?
knows. I mean,
I don't know, Vic. You never know. You could be dying.
Well, nobody knows. So they just when you create a vacuum like that, people fill it in with their own ideas.
Okay. All I did
like
was
in politics.
Lay on the couch, get my car inspected, done, over.
Yeah.
But thank you. I appreciate it, everybody, Karen and you and everybody. All right, coming up next, one of our newest favorite features called What the? That's next.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
When I introduce you, I'm going to say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're a connected guy. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you were a made guy. A capiche?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. This Karen Kataline segment brought to you by Gingham's Family Restaurant, locally owned and operated, just south of 70 on Highway 94.
And then the media.
101.9 and 94.1.
They lying about what's going on in America. They lying about it.
News Talk STL.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people, and the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Ford 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, allowing a minority of the most liberal statewide voters in one district to effectively end our power to stop corruption and out-of-control spending and taxing.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for fair governance.
Hey, it's Mike Ferguson. Mario's Donut Restaurant, that's your place to go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. From mouth-watering sandwiches, omelets, delicious gyros, and Mexican dishes, to their revamped menu with cannolis, tiramisu, baklava, and danishes. And don't forget those famous donuts. Dine in or carry out, Mario's friendly staff is ready to serve you with love and care. Mention NewstalkSTL when you visit, or just visit mariosdonutrestaurant.com.
This is Kurt Barr, Director of Elections for St. Charles County, reminding you that your vote counts. Election security isn't one big dramatic moment. It's a chain of procedures. Equipment is tested before the election. Everyone votes on paper ballots. A hand count audit happens afterwards. And every key step is open to public observation. Each link in this chain is there for a reason. Together, they make the process verifiable. For official election information, visit sccmo.org/elections.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken.
They don't know what the they're doing.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Think I love you. But I want to know for sure.
Great song.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear Jimi Hendrix's cover of this song?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Those are the Trogs, by the way, doing wow. Bang. So, Ken?
Yeah, Vic.
I think it's time for really, truly one of our favorite new features. I mean, not a favorite of all our features, but we always throw in new features to keep it snappy. And this is one of our favorite newest feature, and it's called What the?
What the?
What the? What? What the? What?
What the?
What? What house?
Boy, what in the hell?
What the? Yeah.
And this is what we do. We just grab stuff we've seen on social media, on X primarily, and then it's what people are talking about.
Yeah, go back and forth. I'll start.
Yeah.
Miles Commodore. I know you know Miles.
Yeah.
He says, I'm suffering from what I believe is REM, sleep behavior disorder, or RBD. It's when you're consistently having intense dreams, punching, kicking, and shouting while sleeping. I'm always exhausted.
What the?
From Dan the Zionist, Mamdani is a liar. The International Criminal Court found no evidence of genocide in Gaza. Karim Khan is a prosecutor for the ICC. He tried very hard to find evidence proving Israel guilty of perpetuating crimes, but he failed. Ultimately, he had to admit that Israel did not commit genocide in Gaza.
What the? I would rather dip my tongue in boiling water and put it on a flagpole in Fairbanks, Alaska during a blizzard while standing in a Speedo as I'm sprayed with Tink's hot sauce, Power Moose Cow Estros Mist, and circled by 14 mostly male moose during its rut season than to ever date a liberal.
What the?
Salty Goat says, quote, this is a quote from Zul Muhammad. Now keep that name in mind. No vet has made any sacrifice sacrifice. I want to make that clear. I do not support the U.S. military. No, I do not support the United States. I look down on both entities. By the way, Zul Muhammad is running for mayor of Carrollton, Texas. And Salty Goat says, get this POS out of my state.
What the what?
Sophie Cunningham and Serena Williams drop common sense on men's versus women's sports. Serena says the men are a lot faster. They serve harder. They hit harder. It's a completely different sport. And Sophie says men are just stronger, bigger, and athletic. Only Democrats still cling to this delusion.
What the?
The fan account of Caroline Levitt, it's a commentary account. President Trump blasted the Iranian regime as savages, sharing photos of young innocent protesters killed by the mullahs. The latest number of innocent victims is 52,000.
What the?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
From James Carafano, guy you hear every week with Jamie Allman. The Wells Declaration was one of the great moments of American diplomacy, along with U.S. recognition of Israel and other times when the U.S. stood tall as a beacon of freedom. To believe the USA is not a force for good in the world is to ignore history.
What the? From Maurice Delk. Hashtag MAGA. There are 40 Muslims mayors in America, 240 Muslims serving in city councils across America, 70 Muslims in state houses of representatives, 15 Muslims serving as state senators, 4 Muslims serving in the U.S. House of Representatives, and the number of 0 should always be considered too many. From Maurice Delk.
Mr. Mr. Star Spangled MAGA says every generation has its. Are you mad at me?
No. Sorry, man. I messed it up.
We don't want to hear what you got to say.
Restart it.
Every generation has its stories, but there's something special about remembering a time when life felt a little slower and conversations lasted a little longer.
What the?
From DK, CNN's big excuse for not covering President Trump's speech Thursday night was because years of lying from the president. Perhaps CNN should answer some of their many lies. Here are just a few examples out of the over 60 confirmed CNN lies that they've had in the past. For example, you remember these? MAGA assaulted Paul Pelosi hoax. Trump assaulted Secret Service agents and grabbed the steering wheel of the Beast hoax. NASCAR news hoax. Biden sharp as a tack hoax, and Elon Musk Nazi hoax.
What the?
All right, this is my last one.
Yeah.
Right now, this is by Aunt Lynn. It's Aunt Lynn.
Oh, hey, Aunt Lynn.
Hi, Aunt Lynn. Right now, chocolate is good for you, and lettuce can kill you. I've been training my whole life for this moment.
What the?
What the?
What the? What? What the? What?
What the?
What? What the hell?
Boy, what in the hell?
I feel like that one guy's not going to say what the hell. I feel like that one guy's going to
Something.
say what the
What do you think? Just pushing you over the edge a little bit.
Hey, let's meet the candidates. Well, it may turn out to meet the candidate because the Democrats are all a bunch of sissies and they're afraid to show up. St. Louis County Executive Candidates Forum, Wednesday, July 29th. That's a week from yesterday at 7 p.m. at the St. Louis County Republican National Committee headquarters on Gravois Bluffs Boulevard. Dennis Hancock will definitely be there. Here's who's been invited but probably won't show up. Angela Mosley, Brian Williams, Jake Zimmerman. You know, he's not hip. He's not cool. He's Jersey's commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Where he says, I'm not cool. I'm not hip.
Right. I'm like, you're right. You're telling the truth there.
They've all been invited to attend the forum. It's hosted by our very own Chris Arps at St. Louis County voters. All St. Louis County voters are encouraged to attend. Okay, Ken. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up here?
No, but I wish I would have played that music bed during that cool little segment we just did.
What do you mean? What the?
Yeah, I had nice music and everything going, and I forgot to fire it off.
Oh, let's hear a couple of clips here.
Okay.
Number 10. Let's start with number 10. Ken, do you remember when Hillary Clinton was speaking in front of a black audience and she said, I ain't no ways tired.
Yeah.
I come too far. And a lot of candidates, Bill Clinton used to depending how gray his hair was, depended upon who was in the audience. If it was older people, he'd dye it a little gray.
Okay.
So he'd look old like them. So Jasmine Crockett was talking yesterday, and she went from being her normal, good old ghetto self into something very different mid-phrase.
Yeah, I want you to listen very closely here because she does change mid-phrase. That you don't see this a lot. But she was actually starting to talk like a lawyer, so she changed her cadence.
Unbelievable. Let's hear it.
It's racist. It's just racist, racist, racist. Let me be clear about something. The people that were here are the indigenous folk. And you know who ICE been rounding up? They've been rounding up indigenous people. The people that originally came, not the colonizers, but the original people. So what this is about is whiteness. Everything that this administration has pushed has been about white supremacy. You want to sit up here and act like the crime is being perpetrated by people of color, but the statistics say otherwise. If you look at the real numbers, I know that y'all believe in propaganda and y'all don't want people to know the truth, and y'all definitely don't want them to know history, because then you got to, again, acknowledge colonizing. But nevertheless, when you look at the numbers, you want to tell me about one-offs. And listen, as a criminal defense attorney, I have represented people of all colors. Let me tell you, anybody can commit a crime on any given day.
Right there.
Who was that second person talking?
I don't know. It was Jasmine.
Wait, that both was Jasmine? The
Yes.
beginning and the end?
Yeah.
Huh. So I guess what she's trying to say is when she was a defense attorney?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess she's saying that when she was in the courtroom, she'd say to the jury, y'all racist. And now you got to convict the black guy because y'all racist.
Yeah, out of the gate. I don't get it sometimes. I mean, I know she's leaving, okay? She has nothing.
She is leaving. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's why she's acting even more foolish than ever.
That's the pot at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, that it really is. It is. But now she's saying so many bizarre things and just throwing them out there thinking, well, maybe I'll grab a little bit of relevance still.
Yeah.
Because these things that she's saying are so inflammatory, so wrong, and what she's saying itself, Vic, is racist.
Right. All right, so let's hear number 11, because I've always been wondering. I wondered the whole World Cup tournament, who is Jasmine Crockett rooting for and why?
The World Cup. The World Cup that captured the imaginations of the entire world when they saw all of these people of color that was playing for all these teams. And ultimately, if you recall, the last two teams, it was Argentina and Spain. And it seemed like the vast majority of the world was rooting for Argentina, or actually against Argentina, right? And why was that? Just give me an explanation if you could guess. If you'll just let them finish the answer.
Spain had the best team. Maybe that's why they were rooting for him.
There's also a racist history that exists as relates to
Byer, you're recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Ms. Crockett.
We in these hot-ass streets, honey.
They just shut her down, man.
First of all, she was wanted to make such a point, right? People are all rooting for who are they? Who are they rooting for?
Argentina. No. Oh, Spain.
Well, I was rooting for Argentina because a guy on the Spain team said he wouldn't shake President Trump's hand. That's all I had to hear.
I wanted Argentina to win because of Javier Milei.
Yes. Right, Ken. Fix the budget in 8 weeks.
Yeah. And then Spain, of course, the same thing you said about the flyover and all that. Not allowing our planes to go over their airspace.
Yeah.
And that's it. But she got confused, I think, in the middle of her own remark. She was saying, wait a minute, is it Spain that I'm supposed to
Here's
hate?
the thing, Ken.
Is it Argentina? Because they're both Hispanic countries.
She had no idea what two teams are even in it. She just wanted to make another racist point. Somebody's racist. So
Somebody
sure
is.
She didn't even know who played in the final game, but she had to say something against racism.
But at the very end, Vic, she was alluding to the fact that Argentina was actually white supremacist.
Right.
There's also a racist history that exists
right there.
Mr. Byer, you're recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Ms. Crockett.
That's what she was saying.
Definitely something wrong with her for sure. All right. Wow thing. Lots of stuff going on here at the radio station we want you to know about. And We have to wrap this up and then go to the thing, right? Wow, have I ever done this before?
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
this show sounds a lot better Monday and Tuesday.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
You're, being the guy who's pushing them out.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Next week we're going to give you a preview. Joe Biden's memoir is coming out.
Yeah.
And like every book, there'll be an audio book available too.
Yeah.
With Joe reading. So we're going to let you hear how that sounds.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Chris Cooper. Right now, Trump's baby accounts, what are they called? Kid accounts? The baby
Trump accounts.
Trump accounts
Yeah.
for the babies. Starts off every kid with $1,000. If they invest it properly, they'll have $1 million by the time they're 18 years old. That's pretty good. Let's see what Chris has to think about that. We'll ask him about that when he stops in next week. And also, he's got some great ideas for you that you may not have thought of, because that's what he does. He thinks about this stuff. He's a numbers guy. He's the anti-Vic when it comes to numbers. But he likes to have a conversation. That's the most important thing. No finger wagging, any kind of stuff like that. So don't believe me. You go find out for yourself. That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Drewy thing there. He's got a couple of books you can read: Tax-Free Strategies for Long-Term Care and The New Holistic Retirement, both available at SerenityNowTax.com. And if you're a business owner, he's got a book called Business Owner's Playbook for Financial Clarity. You can get into that at SerenityNowBiz.com. Great radio show. Heard a commercial for it this morning.
Did it feature the fun with finance?
No.
No.
Financial fun.
Okay.
He switched it up on us.
Wow. Featuring financial fun on the Serenity Wealth Now show.
9 o'clock on Sunday morning. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now! Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
The U.S. has completed its 12th straight day of airstrikes on Iran. We'll ask military expert Steve Bucci if he sees an end in sight at 420.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL. News Talk STL is celebrating our 5th birthday. And we're giving away a limited edition News Talk STL America 250 t-shirts. It's exclusive, it's collectible, and it could be yours. Just head to NewstalkSTL.com to register.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, News Talk.
Been listening since day one. Happy birthday to my talk station.
5 years, happy birthday.
News Talk STL.
News Talk STL. Happy birthday to us, and good luck to you.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common-sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Do you know why I endorse Cafe Napoli, all the locations? Visit any of them, and you will quickly appreciate the quality of food, service, atmosphere. So maybe I'll see you at Cafe Napoli in Clayton, Napoli Kirkwood, Napoli 2 in Town and Country, Napoli 3 in St. Charles, right next door to Napoli C. Or maybe you'll find me at Napoli Brothers Pizza and Pasta in the Chesterfield Valley. Now you know why I endorse Napoli, NapoliSTL.com.
Whether at home or at work, you're mobile. So when you're mobile, stay mobile. Keep St. Louis's home for conservative talk with you wherever you go. Download the News Talk STL app in the App Store or at NewstalkSTL.com. This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Over here, dear.
On News Talk STL.
Nobody does it better than Ken Williams.
Thanks, Vic.
Vic. Yo, Vic.
So good. Ken's our feature on the Deli today. We're going to ask Ken some questions.
Oh, okay.
Where were you on the night of June 21st?
Uh-oh.
That's being interrogated. We're not going to interrogate.
Right, that's good. Thank you. I feel a little better now.
All right. So, I don't know. Do you have any fears, like a long-term fear at all?
I do. Primarily political.
Yeah.
You know, about our country. Not for me, not for my wife, but for my kids and my grandkids, potentially, hopefully.
I have one long-term fear that's got nothing to do with politics or the show or anything, but it is a fear. It's so stupid and so narcissistic. But I have a fear of being forgotten.
Oh, wow.
You know, like when I'm gone. Vic Porcelli, who? I don't remember him. You know?
Huh.
Not that I would know, but maybe I will know. I don't know.
I think it goes beyond our comprehension. I really do.
You always say that. You're so smart. Okay. So one of the other things is, how are the history books going to look like? What are they going to look like 50 years from now when the kids are in school in history class and they open up their history book and it's got President Trump with like an orange head, right? Orange man bad. And I feel like, you know, well, you know, Donald Trump was a terrible president. He was the worst president ever. So I said that. I've said that on the show before, haven't I?
Oh, yeah.
And now the Smithsonian is doing the same thing. So Heritage Foundation senior fellow Mike Gonzalez testified to Congress on that topic.
What do we do going forward? How do we resolve this? How do we fix this? Because it's clearly a problem. It's dividing our country. What's the path forward?
I'm saddened to say that you do need to clean out house at the Smithsonian. You have to replace the leadership. I don't think the 603 review process is going to fix anything. I don't think trying to reform with the present leadership is going to do anything. They're committed to the things they want to do. We only have to listen to what they say and look at the evidence of what they have produced. I think you need to work with the Board of Regents to effect this change.
Have we had Mike Gonzalez on?
No.
From the Heritage Foundation?
No, we should get him on, though. He's been there a while.
He says they have to clean house, not just replace the director. Clean house. 'Cause
yeah.
That's part of the problem. You can change the director, and then you got people under that director who still have the same thoughts and fears that President Trump might get a fair shake, that they carry on that legacy. And I just don't think that's fair. I do fear that. And I don't want the kids of tomorrow to get the wrong story.
And Vic, this is by design. That's no accident that there are people following their footsteps that are being embedded in the Smithsonian Institution and also other institutions that, I can't even say the word, institutions, like we've talked about before, the judicial system. I mean, Barack Obama, by no accident, was putting in judge after judge after judge through his whole 8-year terms. And that was on purpose, so that when this does happen, where they say, well, got to get rid of all the leaders, well, you have a bunch behind them.
Yeah. Is this anybody?
Yeah, actually, let's see who it is. I didn't get the name, but they have a comment to make for you, Vic.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, brothers.
Who is this?
I'm sorry, Scott.
Scott Bush, my brother.
Sean Hannity, he's one of the worst. And I can explain why he's bad. He does no show prep because he does his radio show first. And I think he thinks that that's prep for his evening show.
Wow.
That's a great observation. Come on. I did a radio show for 30 years.
I did it.
I signed the Declaration of Independence. I know what's going on.
That's laziness. And also, when he has people on that maybe he should hit a little harder, I think he uses his the fact that he's known them for so long to go easy on them. You're either going to be a journalist or you're not. And I think he kind of thinks he is. But anyway, so the worst one is David Rubenstein. He's at the Carlyle Group, one of these hedge fund guys who worth $1 billion but votes Democrat. He could be given interviewing somebody, and the person could say, hey, yeah, and that's why I killed him. And he would look at him and say, but my next question is this. They don't know how to think on their feet. and that's the problem with most of these guys. Is they, they're lacking that way. The problem also with you were talking about the institutional problem. When Trump fired so many of these folks who were at all these governmental agencies, they all looked like the same. These pear-shaped women with cat hair on their skirts, all crying about losing their jobs. But they're embedded Democrats.
Yeah.
What were we going to say?
No, I don't know.
All right. So here's the thing with Sean Hannity, okay? And I bring him up a lot because you have a choice on the way home, and you shouldn't. The only choice is Chris Arps and Tim Jones on the way home instead of Sean
absolutely.
Hannity. So I want to give everybody,
Completely
this is
agree.
perfect because you're on the phone and there's a little delay. Digital has that little delay. So let's do a little game. I'll be Sean Hannity and you'll be the guy that I'm talking to, okay? And I'll tell you why he's such a bad interview, okay? So,
Sure.
Scott, what do you think? What do you think of the economy today? Because I think it's not good, and it's.
Well, it depends, Vic, where you are.
Yeah, but I've known the president for a lot of years. You don't know the president. I know the president. He's stuck.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Well,
He's so bad.
okay. How is that relevant to the economy? But anyway,
He's so bad.
alas, I digress.
Scott, great to have you. Anything you want to say to Scott on the way out?
Just ask him where he's calling from.
Oh, where are you calling from, Scott?
My car. However, Chesterfield.
Perfect. All right. Home base.
Home base.
Peace, brother.
Scott, thank you so much. Whoosh, my brother.
Peace. Stay well.
Whoosh.
See you, Scott. Oh.
Scott didn't give us a whoosh. Should I be worried about that?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. That instills a ton of confidence. Not really. Okay, so polls. Do you believe polls? Do you not believe polls? I don't know. But there was a Fox News poll that showed how well Democrats are doing going into the midterms.
Yeah.
But number one, Ken? Harry Enton?
Yeah.
On CNN? I think this data, and I know I'm biased, but I think that this data is really the most important.
Trump is still very popular with Republicans. Just take a look here. Okay, 21st century own party approval rating, about at this point in the second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch. We'll see if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man, historically popular when it comes to his own party liking and approving of the job that he's doing.
And one of the polls that Harry Enton has given us in the past is that the MAGA base is 100% behind Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Yeah, remember when the Democrat Party at the time, we're talking about a year ago, they said, "Oh boy, MAGA's finished. Everybody, let's get this narrative out there quickly. Social media, let's hit it." They did it on the mainstream media, on your news, nightly news. They said, "No, MAGA's falling apart. Sorry." And then people on social media said, "What the hell are you talking about?" Yeah. And then Harry Enton again came out with that poll, like you're talking about. 100% of MAGA is following Trump still, and they had to stop it. They had to, if you'll notice, it just went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Ken and I always talk about how somebody somewhere sends the news down the pipeline, and they have to say it word for word. I'll bet they even get a memo that says, "Do not stray from this script one bit. Read it as it is."
Yeah.
And that's where we get, all the stuff about Trump, and it was the most secure election in history.
Let's do some of that. Let's just another piece of it.
Election yet.
This was the most secure election in history.
The most secure or the most secure election in American history.
The most secure election in history.
Most secure election in modern American history.
Most secure election in our history.
Safest and most secure election in our history.
Safest, most secure election we have ever had.
The most secure in American history.
Notice how some people tried to embellish a little bit that we've ever had.
Well, I think that was the guy who said that was the senator who said he fought in Vietnam and he didn't. What's his name?
Oh, Rosenthal.
Right, Rosenthal. And that was then. But even before then, the walls are closing in on President Trump. Remember that?
Yes.
Everybody said the walls are closing in
unified cadence. They did say that, Vic. You're right. They said he's done. He might as well. You just sell the stock because he's done. He's done.
I didn't remember that until just now, believe it or not, that they said that the walls are closing in, and that was taken all the way down. I heard a news report, I think it was on Channel 5, and I forget what the topic was, but the person said so-called, like the so-called beautiful bill. But it wasn't that. It was something else, but she said so-called. And I said to Jess, she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So-called means I don't like it.
Right, right.
So I don't want to sit here and bash local news, okay? But sometimes they need a little bashing.
Well, what really angers me is that, okay, the people listening to this show, for example, they do research because we find it out every day. Well, not every day, but we get emails once in a while saying, hey, guys, this is the fact here. Here's something right here. Or they'll say, hey, you didn't mention this. This is new. They're on it, okay? But then you have people on the left, like my mother-in-law.
Oh, boy.
You know, she's afraid. All she does, I think, is, and she's not listening right now, all she does is listen to MS Now and CNN, and I'm not kidding. They scare the hell out of her. And she won't admit it, but I know she's doing it. She's watching that constantly, and it's scaring her. And I don't know, there's nothing we can do about it, but a lot of people out there are like that. They'll just go one source right there, right, real refined source, and they don't do anything else but watch it.
Ken, moments ago, you said that our listeners do a little research themselves.
Yes.
On their own.
Yeah.
They do more research than half the people you heard just say it was the most secure election in history.
You're exactly right.
They heard a phrase that, that sounds good. The most secure. Yeah, but it's a bluff. No, most secure, you say most secure election in history.
But it's not quite the most secure.
No, that's okay. It's just say it. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. Just say it.
Just
say it.
Just say it. Every day we get emails from our listeners, suggestion. They have research data that they come up with. I love it. Hey, don't stop, by the way.
No, please. That's
Ken at NewstalkSTL.com. We love that.
That makes us different than them.
Yep.
That makes us better than them. And it was so funny when you said that, about research. Our listeners do research. And I said to them, yeah, they do less research. They do more. Our listeners do more research than all the people you heard say it's the most secure election because they just heard a phrase that they liked. So just keep that in mind. And, I hope a lot of people who would vote Republican in the midterms are like you guys who listen to this show and do a little bit of research and listen to the two most handsome guys in radio.
Right.
Because it's important. This midterm is so important. If we lose the House, well, we'd have to lose the House and the Senate. But if we lost the House and the Senate, Donald Trump will be impeached and removed from office.
And what it is also is impeachment indictment of not just President Trump. It's this whole cabinet. They're trying to go after every one of them, especially people like Pete, Secretary of War Hegseth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but just remember, everybody, we've all got people either in our family or friends that's someone who's a Democrat right now, and they might be questioning, especially with what's happening with the Democrat Socialist Party.
Yeah.
Go to them and talk to them. Ask them questions and give them information. Maybe they'll sit there and go, I'm never going to admit this, but I'll go to that polling booth, and I really need to vote on that side.
I think Scott Bessent is one of his best picks for his cabinet. How great is it to have a gay guy be asked, did you say you were going to punch that guy in the face? No, I didn't say that. I said I was going to kick his ass. How great is that?
Awesome.
God, I love it. All right, it's a Thursday. That means Nate Lucas, who's trying to steal my show.
No, he's not.
Oh. He did pretty good on Monday, though.
He did good. It was fun.
We'll join him next.
Whoosh.
Number one for live and local conservative talk.
I just would like to get your comments on that.
I'm so glad that you're on the radio, and I want to thank you for that.
I'll tell you why.
101.9 and 94.1.
I love these people.
St. Louis is number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Producer Joey V of the Tim Jones and Chris Arps Show here, reminding you, don't waste a buck on movies that suck. Listen to Joey V's Movies Fridays at 5:45 for reviews you can trust. Brought to you by Harry J. Steakhouse, Freddy's Market, AAA Motor Speedway, and Best Buy Flooring.
Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney.
Peptides are everywhere right now for fat loss, healing, brain health, even longevity. But are they safe? Are they hype? Or are they the future of regenerative medicine? This week, we break down the truth about peptides, what works, what's misunderstood, and what you need to know. Don't miss it.
Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney. Saturdays at noon on News Talk STL. To find out more about Simply Health Integrated Medical, log on to simplyhealthintegrated.com.
Hey, it's Susie Moore for Window World. Did you know that in just over the last 20 years, Window World of St. Louis has improved the look and thermal efficiency for over 80,000 customers in St. Louis? Plus, Window World windows come with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And now, Window World is offering 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 800-GET-WINDOWS for a free in-home, no-pressure estimate. That's Window World at 800-GET-WINDOWS. They're the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. House Republicans adopt a $95 billion spending package for the Iran war and President Trump's other priorities. Bernie Bell returns.
Chief and Defense Minister, both of whom lost their jobs. The new Army Chief, Major General Mikhailo Chupataya, is part of a new generation of Ukrainian generals. Zelensky has tasked Chupataya with updating the defense strategy. Street protests in Kyiv demanded the return of the tech-savvy Defense Minister, Mikhailo Fedorov. Meanwhile, Ukrainian drones have struck warehouses in Russia, targeting facilities they say are being used for drone production. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
In consumer news, Ford may indeed have a better idea.
Texas resident Kenneth Kovar has a home energy setup from Ford in which drivers of certain popular F-150 models can plug their vehicle directly into their electric meter to power their home during an outage. It's the latest example of automakers broadly adapting their electrification technologies to the home energy business, especially as demand on the grid increases and sales of electric vehicles slow. Car companies are looking to leverage their multi-billion-dollar EV investments to tap into a promising market in vehicle, home, and grid technology, both for backup power and for supporting electrical grid resiliency. Keith Peters reporting.
Tropical storm Bertha turning toward Texas earlier today after making landfall over Louisiana on Wednesday, then heading offshore again. It continued to bring rain to a large swath on the northern Gulf Coast along its path. As Bertha traveled westward, the storm was expected to make another landfall along the northwestern Gulf Coast. Bertha has had maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. More on these stories from townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Window World of St. Louis. For replacement windows, doors, and siding, call 800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 800-GET-WINDOWS. From the News Talk STL Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking temperatures back towards the lower 80s, partly sunny skies
Then as we head off into Friday, we're going to be tracking scattered showers and storms from the morning into the overnight hours. Highs towards the upper 70s. We'll see some scattered showers and storms exiting as we head off into later portions of Saturday morning. Highs returning back towards the upper 80s with drier conditions and more sunshine by the afternoon hours. Then extreme heat returns Sunday on. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, hour number 2, courtesy of the great Ken Williams, who is the executive producer and co-host of the show. Don't leave him out in any conversation about 9 to noon on this radio station.
Thanks, Vic.
Did I make my point?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And Porcelli's Deli is going to be all about the great Ken Williams. We're going to ask him all kinds of questions from his life. And here's part of the reason why, okay? Big reason why. Ken has done so many things. My God, I thought I did a lot of things, like I was Chuck E. Cheese and, I was a bank teller, mailman. I thought I did a lot of things. But, my God, you've done things, and you've done them all great. That's the difference.
You were Chuck E. Cheese?
I was Chuck E. Cheese. I had to put the thing on, the costume on. Hey, you can't talk. You're not allowed to talk. But you wave your head like you're saying, hey, I'm Chuck E. Cheese. And I did it up until some kid knocked me in the nuts. And then I said, that's it. I'm done. Do something else.
Let's talk to Nate Lucas. The communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison.
How much has changed in this free country since 9/11? Now, I'm getting ready to go get touched by a TSA agent. It's the most action I've gotten in years.
All right, more on the sex life of Nate Lucas at the TSA checkpoint. How are you, Nate?
Yeah, that's probably what most people would find entertaining.
Depending upon how things are at home, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so thanks for...
I don't think my mother, if she's listening, she would like that very much.
No.
This is kind of fun. You want to hear something? Actually, this is so ridiculous. I can't believe I'll say this on the radio. But I went home recently for, one of the holidays. And, I walked in... And I had even forgotten that something happened to just be on my neck. And I am scolded by my mother, who goes, "What is that on your neck?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, oh no. So
Bug bite.
Called out by my
Bug bite.
What did you say?
Mom.
What did you call it?
Yeah.
What did you say?
She was like, "Is that a hickey on your
neck?"
neck?
No.
First she was like, "Is that a bruise on your neck?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I was like, my initial reaction, I was busted. So there's nothing I could really
See, you got to be ready.
do about it.
What happened to your neck?
I know.
Well,
yeah.
Representative Burlison grabbed me by the neck and he was choking me.
It's high intensity in the politics arena.
Yeah. That's true. I could play it off as a political battle.
All right, so the representative has been very vocal lately, and I love when he's vocal. The government belongs to the American people. Sounds like nothing, but people on the left just don't get that, Nate.
Oh, 100%. And that was a big win that the congressman had by getting an amendment into the defense bill for fiscal year 2027. And it's an amendment that is he's fought for since he's been up here in Congress, and it's the UAP Disclosure Act, which essentially just forces agencies to preserve records that they might have instead of just deleting them when it comes to unidentified aerial phenomena or UFOs. And it also puts some protections in for whistleblowers, and it forces the government to be more transparent on a topic that, we've seen the Trump administration at least kind of move the ball forward with, at least more so than any other president that we've seen. So it's something that the UAP community, which there is a huge community out there that is interested at the very least in these things, and what they are. And if our government knows what they are, they should tell us. And I think we're starting to see that door open a little bit.
Are you saying transparency, Nate?
Yeah.
How about that?
Transparency, imagine that. I know. It's talk about a phenomenon. That is, in a nutshell, a phenomenon to see the government openly discuss topics that maybe they don't want to talk about, but they should be forced to talk about them. I mean, the government is for the people, and I think over the last several decades, we've drifted into a different territory where the government just kind of covers things up and then they get away with it, and there's no accountability for anyone. Now, I'd still like to see a lot of accountability, but can't get everything in one full swoop.
I don't think anything should be destroyed. Anything that's written down, filed, spoken of, everybody takes notes or somebody takes notes when these meetings happen. I don't think that anything should be destroyed. It should be kept somewhere.
Yeah, I completely agree that it should be kept somewhere. The problem is that even in the last administration, the FBI had, what were they called, burn bags of information.
Yeah.
And so they destroy these records and then no one gets held accountable. So I think if there are laws in place, which there already should be, I don't understand how you can just delete things, but what goes on inside these agencies, they're so vast and so big, and there's so many people, and there's so many people that are unelected that are willing to do something that's probably illegal, but no one knows who they are, and so it's hard to go after them.
Nate, I love how the representative is doing this, but I got to tell you, man, if the Democrats decide to do it, they do it anyway. Look at Hillary Clinton breaking all those BlackBerries. Then you have the situation; it just never ends. The J6 committee, they lost all of their information. We're sorry, we're really sorry. Even if there's a law, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They're going to be handcuffed and taken away? I doubt it.
Yeah, yep. I agree. I think that's unfortunate that they aren't going to be. But even if we just begin to see anyone held accountable for something, then maybe the tone will change, or maybe people will think twice before they do something that's illegal. But so many have gotten away with it, and it happens on both sides of the aisle.
Yep.
To where it's almost become a joke, where it's like, well, do you really want to open up this box where you're going tit for tat? And then we get into every time that there's a power swing, people are going to jail. And I would say, yeah, I kind of do want to see that happen. I would like to see everyone held accountable. I don't care what your political affiliation is. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt, and you should pay the consequence for it.
So they destroy documents, and then they just go ahead and call them burn bags.
Right. Yeah.
What do you got in the bag there? Just documents.
It's a burn.
Where are you going to? It's burn bag. We're going to burn them. It's just burn bag. Nothing going on. Nothing to see here.
It's not right, and I think people expect more of their government, and they should expect more of their government. And too often, this place is so dysfunctional that it's easy to just fall into that hole where you think, oh, well, that's just what the government does. But, it really is unsustainable. And for a government that constantly runs a deficit, that constantly wastes taxpayer money, for them to just go about their business as usual, and people, that pay this entire operation to sit there and just laugh it off like that's just the standard for the government, then we need to raise the standard. And if the current operation, if the current representatives and senators, if they aren't the ones to get it done, then it's time to go to the ballot box and vote them the hell out on both sides. Like, figure it out.
Absolutely right. All right, let's turn the focus to AI and data centers. I probably am the person who knows the absolute least about computers and things. Ken had to tell me today that there's something in Microsoft Word that makes all the print all caps. And I was like, well, I didn't know that. I just don't know. So I guess here's my question, though, because AI, oh, my God, we got to beat China at AI. And then all these funny videos of people with grapefruit heads and cherry heads and, funny videos. And then they tell us, oh, wait, well, we need data centers to run the AI. I think they kind of gave us a little bamboozle there, where they should have told us about data centers first because we can use AI. But I think we did it in the wrong order, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but we do need the data centers. What I worry about is that there's a lot of information right now about these data centers. I call them data centers, so I'm going to stick data centers, or else I'm going to think in my head every time I say the word. But these data centers, I think, like many things we build, over time, we won't necessarily need them to be as vast as they are right now, because I think the complaint from most people is, well, you're going to continue to eat green space and just plant a hideous concrete building there that's going to suck off the the electricity grid and use vast amounts of water, and then ultimately those prices are going to be levied on just basic consumers, and that's not fair. So there needs to be some regulation around these, and I think Missouri, the state legislature, it's already been signed into law, but it's Senate Bill 4, has done a nice job making sure that the energy companies, whether it's Ameren or whoever the provider is, pay their fair share. And those protections have to be built in, or else I do think that the average consumer is going to get screwed. So it's a hot topic right now. I don't think AI is going away, and so therefore I don't think data centers are going away. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but I do know this. If you are going to build a data center, I think that they should have standards for how they aesthetically look. Nobody wants an eyesore in their backyard. And then secondly, most important, I think, are the protections for your consumers so that they know they're not going to be gouged with a grid that's strained because you have a data center in your backyard. You want to make sure that you're not going to see your electricity prices rise because energy companies are, getting business benefits. That's not fair.
Data centers, data is going to be the war of the future. It's going to be fought by countries as a war. In China right now, the reason why they're going to be ahead is because if the CCP decides to build 15 data centers, they have them. They can do it whenever they want. We need to go through all kinds of, regulations and hoops in order to do it. But the thing is, the bottom line is here, guys, is that we need data centers, but they don't need to be around people, I don't think. I mean, this is such a vast country, Nate. Couldn't we assign like a certain area where there are no people yet? Because there are a lot of those areas. Fly over to Utah and you'll find out. I mean, there are a lot of areas in this country that are so open and they have water supplies and everything that the government can help maybe incentivize people and companies to go in and build their own infrastructure, their own communities, basically.
Yeah, and I will say my boss probably breaks with a lot of his colleagues when it comes to data centers. I think there is misinformation out there in terms of their water usage. And there is some thought that some of the misinformation is coming from
China,
foreign adversaries like China, because China has no problem building these data centers because, of course, they would love to collect all of your data. And so I think you do have to sort of weigh it a little bit and think, well, if we're going to have data centers, wouldn't you rather have them in the United States where your data is at least protected? As opposed to going to a foreign adversary where that data could be used against you. And so it becomes, I hate to even go into this because it's the default for anyone who wants to scare an American over an issue, but it's like, it does become somewhat of a national security issue if all of our data is being stored in China. Like, that's not a good solution, but I'm with you. Anyone who's flown across the country certainly knows there are vast areas of land that could probably be occupied that are currently right now like desert.
I think I heard you say, Nate, we're talking to Nate Lucas, who is the communications director for United States Representative Eric Burlison. What I think I heard you say was that the technology will get so good that these data centers will be less controversial because they'll use less water, because they won't be an eyesore or whatever people have a problem with. And I'll tell you, sometimes the people against data centers will surprise you. Surprise me. Bill Eigel, hard no on data centers.
Yeah. So here's another element to it. I'm a proponent of nuclear energy, and I can tell you I've visited nuclear energy companies you should look into a place like Valor Atomics, and it's all built on small modular nuclear. So essentially, it would be the size of, say, a shipping container, and it could power a whole, Walmart and supercenter. I mean, and so if you could have a nuclear power, small modular nuclear power that is the size of a shipping container, power the entire data center, then it wouldn't even need to tap into, say, the overall electric grid. But I just think as time moves on, you're going to see these things get more sleek. We'll probably develop more cloud storage, so it doesn't necessarily have to be held in, say, a data center. So I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what all that looks like, but I know that with how fast things have moved in the AI world and technological advances, it'd be silly to sit here and think that what you build today as what we know of a data center will look the exact same in 2030. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, I've read we've actually talked about this extensively on this show with having experts on, Nate, about micronuclear. There's, I think, what you were talking about those smaller versions of nuclear plants, but also the closed loop system. They're developing petroleum products that you won't even need water to cool these facilities. And I also just read recently about them going down. So say you go out into an area that is unpopulated, and you create your own sphere of, like your own network, your own community for data centers, and have homes surrounding it, and then dig down, and I don't know, somehow cool it that way as well. It's really interesting. Yeah. You're right, though. The future is definitely going to be different than it is right now.
Again, I don't want to act like an expert, but I've just heard from individuals who are incredibly bright about the cooling mechanisms that they have advanced to make sure that these things are soundproof and safe. And I think that we're getting very close to where small modular nuclear is just futuristic in some ways. But we'll see. I mean, a lot of that has to do with regulations and the government kind of taking regulations off of the nuclear sector. And President Trump has done more to deregulate that sector than any president in the last 50 years. Yep. And I think there was an entire generation that was, has been scarred by nuclear plants having major leaks and getting into the water supply. And that's a genuine fear. But I think, it's time to look at nuclear because it is a reliable energy source. And I think the advancements in terms of safety protocol have grown as well. So it's something that would be a lot more reliable than, say, wind or solar or any of the stupid renewables that the left wants to shove down your throat. And those aren't particularly safe either, I'll tell you, because guess what? Those massive, hideous windmills you see anytime you drive from St. Louis to Chicago up I-55, those eyesores, guess what? All that plastic, not even biodegradable. So when they break off, which they do all the time, there's nowhere for that plastic to go. They just get buried into the ground. And another little small tidbit about windmills, they all have some power generated behind it, some fossil fuel that makes sure that they run when there is no wind. So that whole renewable stuff is a farce, and we need to be serious about finding reliable power to make sure that our grid is secure.
Well, we should have asked you that first because it sounded like it was revving you up, and we love revving you up. Hey, Nate, thanks for doing the show Monday. Really appreciate you. Don't do such a good job next time, okay?
And
well, Nate, as I said, Kenny made it very easy on me.
He's the best.
He's the star.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Nate, you called us out. I just have to refer to something to Vic out here live on the air. Vic, Nate caught us. Actually, he brought it up to me when he was hosting for you. Well, because he goes, I see you guys in the stream when you guys are trying to work me up. And then I start talking, and I look in there, and then it's like, to see they're both over there going, come on, moving their arms, like, let's go.
So my question to you then, Nate, is what are you going to do about it, huh? What are you going to do about it?
Well, you know what? Blame the flock camera in your studio for busting your own mistake.
All right, Nate, give our best to the representative. We'll talk next week.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
See you, brother.
I don't know how to plan in advance. That's how we should talk about Nate. what is going to rev him up?
Right.
What is going to piss him off?
I think he likes it, though.
No, I know. We've been busted, completely busted.
Completely.
Because we're going, yeah, rev him up, rev him up.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
All right, so Ken Williams, world's greatest executive producer. And guess what the subject is on Porcelli's Deli? It's Ken Williams.
Great. Next.
Follow us on Rumble at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah.
On NewstalkSTL.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people, and the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Forward 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, allowing a minority of the most liberal statewide voters in one district to effectively end our power to stop corruption and out-of-control spending and taxing.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for fair governance.
Hey, folks, Jamie Allman here for Newstedter's Fine Jewelry right there at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend. WowDiamonds.com. It's Wow Diamonds for a reason. These are beautiful lab-grown diamonds. They are gorgeous. They will blind you when you walk in and see them, but that's a good thing. Great engagement sets, wedding sets, all these beautiful God-created gems, sapphires, rubies, you name it, garnets, and also all the gold you need, and the famous bull of a watch, WowDiamonds.com.
Oh, Adam, you are so romantic, and I love the kitchen you found with all these great crumbs.
Yeah, baby, only the finest crumbs in the kitchen for my favorite aunt. Oh no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. We'd love to help you out. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
News Talk STL. News Talk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Come on, go over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at? I bet the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
Not just a story, but a biography of the great Kenneth James Williams. You know, Ken, we've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think we're really breaking through quicker than anybody thought we would when it comes to politics and school board elections and state elections and even federal elections. And this show, let me tell you something, everybody, depends upon the hard work and knowledge of Kenneth James Williams. Because if you, like, well, here you go. Here'd be a great example. When you go on vacation, listen to what an idiot I sound like when you're gone.
No, okay, no.
So let's go. Where were you born and when were you born?
Well, I want to first start off by saying I would much rather talk about my daughters, my wife, Vic Porcelli, my friends, than talk about me, but I'll continue.
You're screwing up my thing here.
I know.
Where were you born and when were you born?
I was born here in St. Louis, St. John's Hospital in 1960.
And what sport did you start playing first as a child?
Okay, so I played baseball at 5 years old.
Most of us have, right?
Yeah, my dad was the coach. The difference was I was by far the youngest on the team. I was 2 years younger than everybody, so they kind of picked on me. You know, it was just like one of those.
But you held
things.
your own, I'm sure.
I had to, yeah. But I think that helped me throughout my life, seriously.
Always play with people better than you if you want to get better.
Yes. I mean, my dad, I think my dad knew that, and that's why he did it.
So baseball was the first sport that you played. Were there any other sports as a child that you got turned on by and wanted to also play?
Oh, yeah, big time. Let's see. Soccer, basketball.
Okay, let's do one at a time.
Okay.
So soccer. How old were you when you played soccer?
I started playing about 10.
Okay, so you had an idea of the rules. It wasn't the soccer like you see when the kid kicks the ball and 11 kids run at the ball, you know?
No, we were actually I started playing here in St. Louis at Assumption. It was a team called Assumption. It was a church, but I was able to play there.
Right. And you enjoyed soccer?
Yeah, I actually loved it. In fact, I went on to play for what they call the PNA Kickers, the Polish National Alliance Kickers. I was one of the only English-speaking kids on the team, but, man, we just had so much fun, and they were so good.
Now, what position? Were you a scorer? Were you a defense?
No, I was left wing. I ran up and down the field, back and forth, back and forth.
That's what the sport should be called, running. And then basketball?
Yeah, basketball. My dad aspired for me to become a professional basketball player. He was 6'4", and he played in the Navy. And he thought, well, my son's going to be this tall guy that I'm going to teach. I'm going to groom my son to become a pro basketball player. He was very disappointed.
So how many brothers do you have?
2.
How tall are they?
They're taller. One's 6'1" and one's 5'9".
What happened, Ken?
Oh, I got my mom's height.
Got it. Perfect.
I loved it.
So how loud was your dinner table?
Loud. Vic, we had, at one time, we had 6 kids in the house. And the reason I say that, because the oldest was so separated from the youngest that at one time there were 6 of us.
So did the oldest help take care of the youngest?
A lot of times, yeah, most of the times, actually. I took care of my little sister, Chrissy, at times.
There's only so much a mom can do, right?
Well, yeah. And can I say a story real quick about baseball? One time I was playing at Melville, and I was, I think, a freshman playing on varsity. So it was pretty exciting for me. I was a pitcher. And I'm pitching, and I remember my mom, she was like really, really pregnant with my youngest sister, Chrissy. And Chrissy said she never knew this story until recently. I'm on the mound, and I struck a guy out, and I hear this scream in the stands. We're at the big field at Melville, and it's my mom. I could tell by her voice, and I'm like, I ran off the mound because I'm thinking, okay, she's going to have a baby right now. No, she was just cheering on.
That's great.
That's all it was.
You thought her water broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so but you were good at it. You were good at basketball. You were good at soccer. You were good at because a lot of the reason why I wanted to do this today, Ken, is because you've done so many things, but you haven't just done so many things. You've done them all very well, very, very dominant in certain aspects.
I think so. But I think what it was is just a lot of the hard work that my dad taught me.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. So then, when did you start taking saxophone lessons?
Well, I actually didn't take saxophone
lessons.
Oh, my
God. Are you kidding? You taught yourself saxophone?
Well, what happened was I saw David Sanborn, and I was in love with his playing on TV, just watching him. Someone one night, while we were playing out, I think, stages here in St. Louis, handed me a saxophone that was her dad's. And she said, here, I think you could probably mess with this and see if you can get something out of it. I can't use it. I'm not going to sell it. So here. And I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but it was awesome. And for 3 months, I could not get a note out of it. I'm watching David Sanborn again one night, and I noticed his mouthpiece was upside down. Actually, his was right side up, but mine was upside down. Immediately, I put the saxophone together, turned it over. Boom, baby, I'm playing. And I just played and played. Every day I'd sweat and just play and play. And then they let me play it on the stage. And so I started to add it to my repertoire. When I wasn't singing, I started playing saxophone.
I think we're skipping something here. How did you go from turning the mouthpiece around to being a good enough saxophone player to play in one of the coolest rock bands in St. Louis history?
I think, honestly, hard work. Just playing constantly. I always tell people, if you really, really, truly have a passion for something, if you do it long enough and hard enough, you're going to get better at it. And if you don't, walk away, because it's just never... because like soccer, for example, I just go to the PNA Kickers that I played for.
The Polish kids?
I thought I was pretty fast runner, Vic. I thought I was.
Yeah.
Until I saw this kid, man. One day, he's coming down with the ball, and I'm thinking, I'll nail this guy. So he flies past me with the ball, and I could not catch up. I thought, okay,
that's great.
I'm not the fastest.
All right, so you learned how to play the saxophone. You joined a band, which was called?
Well, first one was Tropics with an X. That was in St. Louis, and then after about 4 or 5 years, I left that and started another band called Toy Romeo, which actually wrote original music, had a song on Keishi. We actually did something.
Wow.
And both bands did travel the country. So.
And you have long, rock star hair, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Flowing hair.
So you traveled around the country playing in this band called Toy Romeo?
And Tropics as well. That was the first time we went out. Contemporary Entertainment used to be here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
They were the big, they would sign labels, have label bands and all that stuff. They actually backed us for a little while, and we went to Vegas and played.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we had a great time. But it was just, the problem was I wanted every day. They fired me, by the way, the band.
The band fired you?
Because I wanted to write. We were told, hey, if you guys go on tour, during the day you can write and practice your own music, and then at night just play your cover tunes and be fine. Well, Tropics was partying all night, and then during the day sleeping, and I'd be like, come on, guys, let's go. And I became a pain in the ass.
That's so you.
And so eventually my brother, along with everybody else, fired me.
So your brother was in the band?
Uh-huh. He was the other lead singer.
So it could have been the Williams Brothers band.
It could have been.
If you played blues, that's what it would have been.
Oh, absolutely,
the Williams Brothers band.
man. Yeah.
All right. So unbelievable. And by the way, David Sanborn from Kirkwood, Missouri.
Yes. Yeah.
He's very cool. And no longer with us.
No.
So then how did the cake decorating come into your life?
Okay, so I'm in the band. I'm getting a little bored with it because we're not going anywhere. And I'm like, okay, I got to rethink this thing. And so I started to actually study about radio. I always loved radio. Down in Mizzou, I was at KOPN, volunteer radio station. So I went to school there. When I came home, I was disenfranchised from the major that I had. It was business. I was like, whatever.
Hell with business.
Right. So that's when I got in the band. But when I got out of the band, I'm looking at learning about radio, but I couldn't afford it. So I had to get an alternative job. So I started to, Randy MacArthur from MacArthur's Bakery, he put out an ad saying, we need an airbrush artist. And I did airbrush art. And I'm like, well, okay. So I met him at the bakery. And I said, Randy, why are you here with me here and you want an airbrush artist? I said, I don't decorate cakes. What's going on here? He said, well, I can teach you how to decorate cakes. I cannot teach someone how to airbrush artwork. And a very good move on his part because he did teach me, and I felt it was like I was at home.
All right, well, we just skipped by a very, it sounds like, important part of your life. Where did you learn how to airbrush?
I just started doing it. Again.
Oh my God, Ken, you're killing me.
No, just I would get I got all this stuff. I just got the machine. And then I started to get all this paper, and I started practicing, just a lot of practice.
And then the radio career started to blossom a little bit up on 94.1 in Bowling Green.
Yeah, well, I never was told I would never become full-time in radio in St. Louis ever. And that was when I was working at the station, The River, with you. Mm-hmm. And that's really where it all started.
I didn't tell him that, by the way.
No, Vic did not, but this silly program director did. And eventually, so I went up to Bowling Green, up to our 94.1 country, and worked at KPCR in Bowling Green. And then they called me and said, listen, before you leave for good, we want to keep you here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I came back and started working full-time with you.
Did overnights?
For like overnights. 7 years, yeah.
And then tell me about, because this is what I'm talking about. You haven't just done a lot of things. Tell me about iChannel. And going to the movies in Hollywood, tell me about that whole part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would do a little show on cable, and I would critique, basically what Kathy Kaiser does and Joey V does, critiquing movies and all that. And I would interview the actors and directors, and they would fly me out to the Four Seasons every couple of weeks, and we would do that. So then my show was called The River Homegrown Show on Sunday nights right before your Blues Review show, and I would help you with that one. So then they wanted me to take that show and make it into a radio station of all independent artists called iChannel. And I said, let's go. So for a couple of years, they backed it, lots of money and everything.
Hugely popular show.
Way ahead of its time, Vic, because when the 2008 thing hit, they got rid of all their new art research and development, and that channel was gone. So
that sucks.
Yeah.
And then, because here's the thing. When did you realize that you were a conservative?
I didn't really call it that because I voted for Bill Clinton the first time around.
Okay, well, that's fair. When did you start getting into politics? Maybe it was better.
Maybe back around 97, 98, I would say probably, because I was thinking to myself, that's not right. Some of the things they're doing is not right. I started to question, and then I realized a lot of band members were not conservative. But when they were, man, we would have some great conversations, right? So I started to get to know a lot of these band members and find out who was and who wasn't. And I knew then, I think it was around 2000.
All right, we're running out of time here, Kenny, but then you worked at what we call in this building, the other place.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're getting to do radio. What content is what you believe in?
Absolutely. This is the most fun, Vic, that I've ever had in radio. I mean, you know, to be able to sit here and talk to you, first of all, every day is amazing for me personally. And this is what I like to talk about. You know, Vic, you're such a legend. You really are. And I've been honored to work with you the last 5 years. I've learned so much from you as well. I know you say you've learned from me, but I've learned from you. And this position has been so great for me being in radio. Yes, music was fun. But to be able to actually do this version, by far much more fun.
I'm having the best time ever in radio, too, and it's all because of you.
Thanks, Vic.
Do you have a favorite song?
Actually, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What is it, Ken?
It's a song that we used to play on in the band Tropics. Actually, it was a highly requested song that's difficult to do for bands, but man, we nailed it. We nailed it every time. In fact, we nailed it so much that everybody required us to play it twice a night.
Clearly, it's foreplay long time because I hear that creeping in by Boston.
Right.
And that's Porcelli's Deli, all about Kenneth James Williams on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home, my brother.
Whoosh. Thanks, Vic.
Whoosh.
I'd like an omelet, plain, and a chicken salad sandwich on wheat toast. No mayonnaise, no butter, no lettuce, and a cup of coffee.
For number 2, chicken salad sandwich. Hold the butter, the lettuce, the mayonnaise, and a cup of coffee. Anything else?
Yeah, now all you have to do is hold the chicken, bring me the toast, give me a check for the chicken salad sandwich, and you haven't broken any rules.
You want me to hold the chicken, huh?
I want you to hold it between your knees.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis, for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Well, that was fun, Ken.
That was fun, actually.
Learning about Kenneth James Williams. Did your mother say it that way when she was mad at you?
Oh, yeah.
They always throw that...
Kenneth James Williams.
When you hear that middle name, oh, no, what did I do now?
Yeah, my dad never said it because he just smacked.
My father just looked.
Oh, that too, yeah.
That look. All right, let's talk about more pleasant things, and that is our great friend Cindy Blanton at Bauer Insurance Agency. They've been protecting families like yours and businesses like yours over there since 1986. And as a family-owned company rooted in strong values, they always prioritize your best interests. Now, what about, where are they located, Vic? Does the weather mean? No, weather means nothing because they're inside Mid-Rivers Mall at 1600 Mid-Rivers Mall, Suite 2304. And that's where you'll find Cindy Blanton and the Bauer Insurance Company. They're licensed in Missouri and Illinois. So if you're listening from Illinois, you're like, well, she can't help me. Nothing in that black bag for me. No, yes, there is. Okay, she's licensed in Illinois, too. So she'll help you out there. She loves to ride motorcycles. Who doesn't love motorcycles? Well, yes, who doesn't love motorcycles? Great partners, too. Progressive, Travelers, National General, Nationwide, Safeco, bunch of big name companies. She can take care of you. Her name is Cindy Blanton, and you can get her at 636-812-2001 for the Bauer Insurance Agency.
News, analysis, opinion.
Don't always agree, but in love listening to your radio station.
This is tyrannical stuff they're doing.
Elections have consequences.
This is 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck, taxed. Your property, taxed. Everything you buy, taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
When insurance companies know you're represented by Under Law, they know Under is not going to let you be pushed around. Their reputation is built on years of courtroom battles. If you suffer an injury or damage to your property, serve the insurance company notice you have Under Law on your side. A St. Louis firm you can trust to protect you at every term. Don't settle for less. You want to win? Believe me, Under wins. Under, O-N-D-R, underlaw.com.
Fox News Commentary with Lisa Booth, next.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Lisa Booth on the New Democratic Party.
They want to dismantle the system from within. And you look at countries like Venezuela, where socialism took over. Hugo Chavez was democratically elected. He promised on the same things we're hearing from some of these socialist candidates on the left, to return power to the people, to fight corruption. And then what happens is they get elected and they do the opposite. The power gets consolidated with these bureaucrats and the system gets corrupted. And, so these same people who say that they want to, empower the people, they don't. They just want to empower and enrich themselves, and these are people who can't get powerful or rich on their own. They want to get in, and then they want to dismantle the system, whether it be to abolish the Electoral College, they want to pack the Supreme Court, they want to change the way that these institutions have checks and balances, so it makes it easier for them to consolidate power.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an eruption.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
I want candy. By the way, oh diddly beat.
Yeah.
And I like it. So, Amendments 4 and 5. We have this event to let you know what's going on, a deep dive into the two amendments. Keynote speaker will be Grover Norquist from Americans for Tax Reform, who we had in this studio and got to speak to, and he was great. And also special guests, state reps Bishop Davidson and Ben Keithley. The Amendment 4 specialist, Byron Keelan from Freedom Principle, Missouri, and Amendment 5 specialist, Dennis Ganal from Missouri Tax Relief Now. All moderated by our very own Tim Jones, Tuesday, July 28th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at The Point in Baldwin. So get informed about Amendments 4 and 5. They're important. And you got to vote yes for them.
Vote yes.
All right. Let's talk to the perfect guy to talk to after some wacko lights a fire in front of the Federal Building in Manhattan, and his name is Michael Letts, president and CEO of Invest USA, great investigator and a great friend of our show. Michael, how are you?
Doing great, Vic. Always a pleasure with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Always great to hear your voice. I got to start working on an impression of him. Maybe I can do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Vic, how you doing?
I'd love to hear that.
Hey, Vic, great to be with you. Great to be with you. So this story started with terrible news reporting, as always, in this country. An explosion in downtown New York City. And it was like gasoline and fireworks, right? Is that all it was?
Yeah, but the fireworks was actually the lighter. And basically what he did, it was kerosene base and gas with kerosene mix.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like, terrorist blast. We thought it was like this. There's going to be a hole in the Federal Building like there was in Oklahoma City. And it turns out...
The laughing part about it is it was the worst attempt of anything I've ever seen. It lasted about, 30 seconds?
Right. Now, this guy, it seems like he's got a mental illness. You know, a lot of times when violence happens, Michael, the root cause is always mental illness. What do you know about this guy?
Well, Army vet did have definitely some challenges. His frustration was with the government. He didn't feel like his benefits were being taken care of seriously. You know, to the defense of all of the military, we are working on providing better benefits for our veterans. And, you know, there's too much weight in the VA, too many weights for medical assistance and all. But that's not the way you accomplish things. He was taken advantage of. He was gaslit, shall we say. And, of course, what they were attempting to do was use this as a terrorist attempt. Well, I got to tell you, we are definitely under a threat for terrorism, as you're very well aware. In fact, we're at the highest alert we've ever been. But if you really want to make an impact, find you somebody that knows what they're doing.
No kidding.
Not somebody like this.
Right.
Because it certainly did not accomplish anything. Although I will, the flip side of the accomplishment is it does remind us, especially with the conflict overseas and all, we definitely need to make sure that we are on our Q's and the T's there to make sure we were observant and watching what's going on, because the sleeper cells are trying to be activated, although Iran seems to be having a little hard time getting that working.
Yeah. His name was Andrew Arabaka. Like you said, Michael, he felt like his benefits were not being used to his advantage. And here's my thing. I'm sure there are plenty of people who served who don't feel like they've been treated right by the Veterans Administration or whatever. But there's ways to do that, to get your message out, not violently, because now you know the benefits you're going to get, 20 years in jail.
You're exactly right. And I don't think he's going to get TV. So, that was a bad move on his part. Again, we have a lot of very, good veterans who are not being accorded the help that they need.
Right.
But this is no way to get it accomplished.
Well, Michael, I got to tell you, I've never served. My friend Ken has never served, but we just admire and respect and revere the military so much that we do what we can. And we have this initiative that we call Vic for Vets, and we honor a veteran every day.
Every week.
Every week. In June, we did it every day.
Every day, yeah.
We've named it Veterans Appreciation Month, not Gay Bird Month. But
that's why I love being on y'all's show. Y'all the best. You're the best in the country, man.
Whoa!
Best show in the country.
Wow! Ken, make a promo out of that.
I am. Right. I'm flagging it now.
So, but what I'm trying to say is, Michael, that there are, of course, great veterans who have gone on to do great things, and they just realized the right way to get attention, and this was not the right way. So anyway, let's move on to something else, like the Secret Service. Who, you tell me right now your estimation of the Secret Service. Can we trust them implicitly right now?
No, absolutely not. We have time and time again they have fallen short, and the only thing keeping this presidency moving forward and alive is the fact that we got additional personnel, special forces that are making sure that they keep an eye on things. I mean, it's just they've got to have somebody that actually respects the office of the presidency and values doing their job instead of trying to make a political statement.
We're talking to Michael Letts. He's the founder, president, and CEO of Invest USA. You can find him also on X at Invest USA. Michael, the OAN came out with this article about the U.S. Secret Service threat environment is the highest we've ever seen in 2026.
Wow.
I think a lot of that can be attributed to Iran and a lot of the different anxieties that the left and the new Democrat Socialist Party is fomenting this anger in this country, don't you think?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, that is a key vital part of it. But let's not forget, folks, that they've done a very poor job of performing their duties and allowing political activists to be a part of their membership. Because Butler should have never occurred. The golf course should have never occurred. We could just go down the list, and there been many attempts that we've not made public that we can do better, a lot better, folks, if we quit trying to allow politically correct politics to determine the protection of our presidency instead of allowing them to do the job that they know they've been trained to do.
I said this the other day, yesterday, I must have said it yesterday, that I said, I've asked people for so long, not on the air, just talking to people, and I asked them, I said, do you think a president will ever be assassinated again? And everybody said no, because the technology's there. But you know what's also there? The conspiracy, the hatred for President Trump.
The TDS, yeah.
Because I think Butler was a little weird. I think the Correspondent's dinner was very weird. Yep. You know, what the hell's going on, Michael?
Well, that's the key. I mean, let's take what you had just said. Do we have the technology to keep a president safe? By all means. Have we devolved into this point in the country to where we allow people to weaponize agencies and use them for their own advantage? I don't think there's any question about that. And when you allow weaponization of agencies and its personnel instead of doing their job and be making political statements instead, I think it's inevitable that you could see a president or a high cabinet member assassinated because of that. That's the sad part.
The attempts on the president's life is unprecedented, I think, than any other president. I mean, I haven't lived through all of them, but all the ones I have lived through, there's been one attempt, got him in 1963. One attempt, got him, but he lived, Reagan. But, I am just shocked that we are living now in a time when the president of the United States has had the most assassination attempts on his life than any other president. I'm going to go ahead and say in history, Michael.
Well, you're exactly right, but there's a reason behind that. Other presidencies have realized that, I got in over my head. I just better just do what I'm told and get my retirement and, get a nice little office or library when this is over with. This president has said, you know what? I'm going to change and we're going to make things the way they're supposed to be. We're going to break up corruption. We're going to hold people accountable. And boy, it's amazing that people get upset when you try to do that.
It amazes me. And I may have talked to you about this before. Ken laughs about it all the time. But the Correspondent's dinner, the Secret Service did not act, to me, under a protocol that the Secret Service should act. One guy's hanging out, talking to the chick, say, how you doing? They completely dismissed the dog who said, hey, he's in here.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all things that the one guy, when the would-be assassin ran by him, he looked like he's, oh my God, he gave me a fright. He didn't act very Secret Service-like to me, I guess.
And then what about the video of the women afterwards?
Yeah.
The Secret Service women, they ran.
They split. Unbelievable.
Everything you said, the only thing I would add to it is with the fire power that was brought down, you can't hit any better than that.
I know.
I think I could get a third grader that could hit better than that.
No kidding. No kidding. All right, before time runs out, Michael, Invest USA getting bulletproof vests for police and first responders and all that. Tell us how that's going and how we can help.
Well, it's going great. We're this coming week, we've got all kinds of agencies in Florida and across the country that we're delivering to. But I will tell you this, folks, we're at the highest security risk we've ever had. And these people deserve to go home to their families as well. So never have they been put into a more dangerous situation than they're being placed in today. If you can, make a donation. Go to INVESTUSA.org. Let's get active shooter vests on these guys. And let's let them know that we have their back. Because believe me, we are in one heck of a war, and we're going to win. We just got to stay together.
All right, one final quick thing. What did you say about our show? I can't remember. What did you say?
Best show in America.
That's what I thought you said. Thanks, Michael.
You got it, guys. Love you all to death.
Hey, take care, Michael. Thank you.
You heard him.
I love it.
I
love it.
Michael,
He's awesome.
Tony Kinnett is next. He's in Indiana. We got to ask him about the fever. I mean, he's not in Indiana, but he's a Hoosier.
Right.
Whoosh.
Decisions matter most. Experience isn't optional. As a former SWAT commander, Tim Whitney has led Under Pressure. Today, as Undersheriff and Chief Financial Officer, he helps lead hundreds of employees, manages one of the county's largest budgets, and protects taxpayers with conservative accountability.
I'm Tim Whitney, and I'd be honored to earn your vote. Together, we can support responsible growth, strengthen public safety, protect taxpayers, and preserve the character that makes Jefferson County home.
Paid for by friends of Tim Whitney. Heather Missy, Treasurer.
Hey, Jamie Allman here, looking for the ultimate escape? Well, welcome to Santino's, where luxury meets authenticity in a stunning 6,000 square foot destination. Browse hundreds of premium cigars in the walk-in humidor. Explore more than 700 bottles of whiskey. Whether it's their non-smoking wine room, gaming lounge with custom poker tables, it's Santino's just off Highway 55 at the Imperial exit. See them at Santino'sCigarCocktails.com. That's Santino'sCigarCocktails.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on NewstalkSTL 1019. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The next major government-wide funding deadline is September 30th, which marks the end of the fiscal year for 2026. Responding to a question from Town Hall's Cameron Arcan just minutes ago at the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that she suspects Democrats will threaten another government shutdown.
The most important thing for the American people to know is that this president in this White House wants the government to remain open, unlike the Democrats in this town who have been acting as obstructionists.
Congress is supposed to pass 12 annual appropriation bills to fund the government for fiscal 2027 before September 30th. The big challenge, though, is that lawmakers are heading toward the August recess with substantial work still unfinished. The U.S. military continues to pummel Iran. Here's correspondent Laura Winters.
A 12th consecutive night of crushing strikes in Iran. The U.S. military looking to degrade Iran's ability to shoot at ships in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump saying on his Truth Social page, from this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapons, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to or in the capital city of Tehran. Laura Winters reporting.
The U.S. Navy is taking a major step to restrict press access to information about service members by no longer releasing information about any sailor's service history, information that has been freely offered by the service for decades. The move, which officials say is being driven by increased security threats and harassment, comes amid a host of other restrictions on press access being driven largely by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Google parent Alphabet taking a hit on Wall Street today. Despite reporting huge profits, the market is reacting negatively because Alphabet is spending an enormous amount of money on AI infrastructure. Some are worried that it may not pan out. More from townhall.com.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the suicide prevention hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job. Cut the Bullpack paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
It's a brand new show on News Talk STL, JC's Sunday Showgram.
The radio wars in the 1980s were ugly, and we'll go back to 85 for a very ugly story involving Casey, KWK, and Brian Adams. Plus, the St. Louis Fire Department battalion chief I had to threaten with criminal prosecution because he was harassing me. And why? I don't like cruises. All brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
Sunday morning, 7 to 9. Then podcast each Monday on NewstalkSTL.com.
Hey, Jamie Ullman here for Window World. Did you know that Window World offers a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor? They are one of the only 2 replacement windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Window World St. Louis has been owned and operated by a group of born and raised St. Louis residents for more than 23 years, and now Window World is offering 36 months same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today, 800-GET-WINDOWS for a free in-home, no-pressure estimate. That's Window World at 800-GET-WINDOWS.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, 2 behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right. My 11 o'clock break during the news, I go pee first. Then I make coffee.
Yeah.
Don't take the coffee. Let it brew. And run into Jeff's office, get some pretzels.
Right.
And then go back and get my coffee and come back in. Well, I forgot the part about going back and getting my coffee. And who brings it in? The legendary Larry Connors.
How does it feel to get coffee from Mr. Connors?
How does it feel to have such a humble guy that we work with that's such a legend?
Yeah.
I know another guy like that.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony!
What a bunch of emasculated politicians.
Tony Kinnett.
Gun person. That's a new one. I'm going to keep an eye out for any Mossberg 500s with legs.
Oh, God, Tony, live.
Nobody liked Vic. That's why I'm honored to be here.
Daily Signal national correspondent Tony Kinnett.
What's up, Tony Kinnett?
Gentlemen, I am just so glad that I do not live in New Yorkistan. You know, every single day I think about it.
It gets worse every day. Every day. All right. First of all, don't change the subject because I'm pissed, okay? I am pissed off.
All right, good.
Now.
Okay.
In this building right now, Missouri State Senator Nick Schroer, right?
Okay.
Great senator, fights for those conservative things.
Freedom Caucus
chairperson, I believe.
Thank.
And he walks in the station with a Sophie Cunningham shirt on, right? And I knew he went to Indiana to see the game. And he goes, oh, wait, I met Sophie Cunningham. Shows me a picture of him and his wife and his 2 cute little girls, and there's Sophie. And I'm like, well, the kids were the attraction, not you.
He used his daughters as bait.
He did. So then you say in Q, what we call in Q when we talk to Tony before we get on the air, oh, yeah, I know Sophie Cunningham. What am I, chopped liver? What's going on here?
The best part of that particular relationship is that she knows I despise the WNBA. So I have a cousin that played for Morehead State, and while Sophie Cunningham was playing, my cousin Brittany was like leading the nation in rebounds, which again is women's college basketball. So like, you know, so anyway, I met Sophie before she played for the Fever, back when she was at Mizzou. And obviously I hate the WNBA. Sophie knows this. She doesn't mind. But I mean, you know, I love seeing her, you know, point at people and write articles saying protect women's sports. I'm very proud of her, you know, of course, as a Hoosier. And I know that's a dirty word for you. Right. But like as an Indiana Supreme, I'm quite fond of that, but it's not going to make me watch the games. I'm sorry. I can't force myself to do it.
You are not bolstering your argument. You're bolstering my argument because I watch every Fever game. I've watched every minute of every
that's
Fever.
So sad.
He does, Tony. He watches it.
You go watch all the junior high boys basketball games too? When like little Jimmy gets out of English and learns to hit a layup?
Can you cancel Tony Kinnett's Thursday appearances with us? He was good for a while, but no. I mean, I've been talking. Ken, you can back me up on this. Please back me up on this. I was talking about Caitlin Clark when she was a junior in college, and I said this girl's going to be the greatest scorer ever, and she's going to be the biggest thing in the WNBA. And here's why I like the WNBA. They're tougher than the boys.
Tony, Vic Porcelli.
Let him answer that first.
Okay, all right.
They're tougher than the boys. They take.
So I will give you credit only because any man who actually keeps track of anything going on at the Iowa Hawkeyes deserves to be taken seriously. That takes dedication to sit through watching the Hawkeyes do pretty much anything. So I give you that, Vic. Look, you're dedicated. You're clearly established. You're foundational. You don't get any more fundamental than sitting in an oat field and watching the Hawkeyes play.
I don't think I like your tone.
Good on you, buddy.
I don't think I like your tone. Go
but
ahead.
I do have to acknowledge the fact that Vic did pick up on Caitlin Clark long before anybody else did.
And Sophie.
And Sophie as well. But Caitlin Clark first, Tony, because he would come in here and just start ranting about this woman who's playing so amazingly, and I had to turn on to it. And I got to admit, man, she was very inspiring for me because as a college, I love college sports anyway. And then I started getting sucked into this whole Caitlin Clark thing too.
So again, what I appreciated about the rise of Caitlin Clark, not as much the rise of Sophie because it wasn't quite the same, but like with Caitlin, what I really enjoyed was that it would make it off of ESPN3 and like ESPN8, the Ocho, and it would be on ESPN 2 and 1. That's where the fun. That's how you knew that it was worth watching, because when they're like, you got to check out this college, women's basketball highlight reel clip, and then you can almost see Charles Barkley say, "We do," and then you watch it and you're like, "Oh yeah, we do. It is actually like pretty stellar." I mean, it's like watching America at the Olympics. Like the other countries in some events, they just suck. So like, why do you watch them? You watch them to see the really great athletes beat up on those who should never do anything athletic. That's like watching Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. It's like watching two athletic people play against a lot of people that have just discovered that a basketball has bumps this morning.
So I'm more objective than Vic Porcelli in this, so I'm going to say this. When I started watching the WNBA and then paying attention to Sophie and Caitlin, I'm like, wow, they are so much better than some of these women. Why are these women even on a team? Angel Reese, who, by the way, is trying to proclaim that she's the face of the WNBA. Right. I mean, she's actually seriously, when she says that stuff, that woman, I would go against her. That's
actually
saying a lot.
I don't know if you know this about Angel Reese. This is a little fun piece of trivia. She's the first woman in history to be offered a place in the Freemasons because nobody throws bricks like she does.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Great joke. All right. So, I don't know. I know you're like 31, right? You're 31 years old.
I am, as of this year.
So I know that this may be before your time, but do you remember a guy named Jason Williams who played for the Sacramento Kings?
Yes, I do.
He was the best passer in the history of the NBA. Better than Magic, better than everybody.
One of the only guys, I believe, that, again, pulling my Indiana roots here, that like Larry Bird struggled to trash talk because that man could behind the back throw it over, little Jason Williams white chocolate. That man could juke Jordan. That's chocolate? Difficult as all get out.
So I am obsessed. Do I obsess?
A little bit.
Oh, I obsess a little bit. I've watched every highlight reel of Jason Williams that's on the internet.
Dude, that's justified. That's not obsession.
Okay, good. So,
dude, the JCW is worth watching.
Grant Napier was the play-by-play guy, and his big phrase was, "If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball." And one night, Jason Williams had, a lot of points, hitting three-pointers, and Grant Napier goes, which I used for my Facebook post about last night's game, "Turn on the sprinkler systems, because Jason Williams is on fire." And I did that for the Fever on Facebook.
That is incredible. I'm seriously, that's a phenomenal line. That hits like a sleeper cell activation.
Yeah.
You quoting Napier there to me. That's, oh man.
And he sounds old, but I don't think he is. And he lost the gig for some, I don't know, unfortunate remark or something that he made.
No, he was like Don Rickles. I think he was just old from the time he hit 35 just for the rest of his life.
That's true.
He stumbled out onto stage. The man just looked eternally old. But I'll tell you this. I mean, that's that's how it is,
That's funny because there are some people like that. In fact, I would go as far to say my mom's dad, my grandfather, I didn't know him because he died before I was born, but I saw pictures of him when he was like 25 years old, and I'm thinking, well, you're just as old as you were when you were 75.
Yeah, right. That's like Victor Davis Hanson here at the Daily Signal, great historian. I tell you, that man has looked old his entire life. That man came out of the womb with an AARP card. I don't know how he did it.
That is so funny. Another one of Napier's things was, "Oh, boy." He'd say that all the time. All right, that's enough. But listen, pal, okay?
Okay.
Is there any reason why you can't ask Sophie Cunningham to pay us a visit, either on the phone or maybe in person?
So the answer to that question is no. I've floated very briefly the idea of her coming on to my show, and she said, "I'm not doing like political media at the moment of any kind."
We're not political.
That's the honest answer, because I floated the ideas of coming on, doing, we making a panel, maybe we can just sit down back and have some fun, and she's getting there. I mean, the ESPN article is the very first take, next step, storming the Capitol, step after that, bombing Japan. There's stages to this.
But here's the thing about her. She has come out bravely, I think, against...
By not coming out. In the WNBA, that's kind of unusual.
It's funny. My big joke is, the WNBA of mostly lesbians is sponsored by Dick's. It's crazy.
Sporting Goods.
Sporting Goods. But Sophie has come out and said, "I am against boys and girls sports and get them out of the locker room." I think the reason I say she's brave is because I'm surprised the anvil didn't fall on her head after she said it.
No kidding.
That's true. But there was this one transgender sports activist from Europe who looks, I mean, seriously, if you've ever had a buffalo nickel, flip it over. This individual from the UK looks exactly like the buffalo nickel. I'm just saying, moo. And is so angry, outraged, saying, how could Sophie Cunningham be so boldly, so brazenly transphobic? And I can't tell you how many pictures that was quote tweeted with Sophie Cunningham just pointing at the tranny. I mean, it's something else.
I was watching that game live when she did the pointing thing. And then I love her interview after it because she was saying that DeWanna Bonner said, "Don't you point at me. I don't like you pointing at me." Shouldn't have said that. That's all she did was point at her.
No, but that's also like a white woman thing. Like, you never actually tell a white woman in her 20s or 30s, don't you do this thing, because something unlocks in their head, like the descendants of Eve. I am going to eat that fruit from that tree. You can't tell me what to do.
That's so funny. And the only thing about it, she's so hideously ugly. It's the only thing that really bugs me about her.
Wait, what? Who?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the lady that was pointing at Sophie. I'm like, I'm a married man, so I have to be careful what I do and don't say about Sophie on the air. But also, I know you did not just call Sophie Cunningham ugly on this feed.
It's a joke, man. Come on. What do you think? You're the only funny guy in the world? I can be funny. I can be funny.
I'll agree. I'm poor man's watching Iowa basketball. You got to have something to do.
Jeez.
Oh, shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that. That was Sophie. But anyway, it took her. Okay, so here's her fame, right? She goes to Mizzou, local girl, grew up in Columbia, played on the Columbia, whatever high school she was in, football team, kicking extra points. And then she goes to Mizzou, goes to the WNBA, and then comes here. And it took her all that time to really get noticed. And she got noticed for being Caitlin Clark's enforcer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When J.C. Sheldon poked her in the eye, Sophie decided to tackle her instead of guarding her.
By the way, correct response.
And she's a Taekwondo third-degree black belt, held J.C. Sheldon by the back of the neck. there was no way she could get out of it. I mean, she was so smart. She didn't punch. All she said was, don't you do that.
So what I love about like her run in here at the Indiana Fever is that previously she was at Phoenix, and she had nothing to do there because their first string and their second string on that court is just pathetic. I mean, it's like anemia, the basketball team. I mean, goodness gracious. I've seen better like point shoot shots like at drunken state fair competitions. It was awful. And I mean, Sophie had nothing to do there. There was nothing to fight for. And now she's over here in Indiana. She's got Caitlin Clark, who again, everyone has decided that there's a racial fatwa against Caitlin Clark. So like basically every time that Sophie Cunningham steps onto the court, it's like IU going up against Miami. You know, Miami brings out the thugs and then Indiana goes down and cleans it up.
See, that what we're talking about right now, guys, is actually showing us the state of the woke left socialist. I mean, really, if you think about it, because the WNBA right now, all they're ready to do is destroy the two people actually that are bringing people and putting their butts in the seats and making them not have to fly coach every single time now.
As soon as you said this is just like the socialists, the only thing that popped into my head is this like somehow a Rush Limbaugh segment where he would say, you see, Zoran Mamdani is like the butch lesbian who can't hit 3-point shots, and Sophie Cunningham is like Donald Trump. You're not going to tackle Caitlin Clark today. No, sir, this is America.
So funny. You know, there's a bunch of montage videos of Sophie out there and what she's done. And when she was with Phoenix, there's a point when she and this girl, black girl, nose to nose yelling at each other. And that girl ended up being a Fever teammate. Maisha Hines Allen is now like the second enforcer. She's like the sergeant in arms of enforcing.
And they're probably really close
They
now.
are. My God, they are. They absolutely are. And I just learned just a second that she was born in Montclair, New Jersey. How about that? Went to Montclair High School. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
Not one of the 6,600 who got illegally registered to vote. How about that?
How about that? I went to Bloomfield High School. We bordered Montclair. Played them at Thanksgiving every year. That's why I brought it up. Okay. So are we done with Sophie?
Yeah. Sure. Why not? Your show, my man. I'll go wherever you want.
So let's go to this guy who lit fireworks outside the Federal Building in downtown Manhattan.
Ah, yes.
He clearly mental illness if he had a cart, like a little wagon with a machete and a sledgehammer.
As all mentally healthy people do.
Right.
Zoran Mamdani says I'm not supposed to look at him. Like I'm in New York and like if there's a homeless guy dragging a wagon, not like in the good way, like a Pixar mom kind of a way. I don't mean that kind of wagon, the dragon. I mean like dragging an actual rusty old garden cart. And if they're going, nah, then I'm supposed to like wave hello and give them a friendly hug, apparently. Even if it's got a machete and, you know, flammable liquids and perhaps a cut off hand in there.
Now, this guy's a veteran, right? And, you know, we do a lot for veterans here on this show. And we would do for him if he had not done this. But I just, I always get a little shocked when it's people who are veterans who do stupid stuff like this. But clearly it was a mental illness that didn't get diagnosed until, oops, sorry, he lit fireworks outside the Federal Building in downtown Manhattan.
Yeah, I mean, this is so. I want to make two quick points here, and this is something that I've been told quite a bit by as a guy who works with a lot of conventional veterans, conventional combatants. There, the idea that like, look, this guy was a veteran. A lot of veterans' reputations are tarnished, and a lot of their nerves are frayed when they have to see a guy like this, who comes out again. He has all this anti-ICE stuff in his vehicle. He's clearly political. Now a lot of politicians want to use his status in order to suggest that, well, the real problem is Donald Trump because, you know, if a veteran has this opinion, well then it's like, that's not what being a veteran is about. And that's kind of the first side of that is that this, he served from like 01 to 05 and again was apparently drummed out because he was an awful guy. At least that's the reports that I've seen so far. We'll find out more. And the second thing on this dude, lighting off gasoline and fireworks. Now, I happened to notice those are some things that can kill people. Are any of those like firearms? Now, I know he had an airsoft gun, but what about all the gun-free zones of New York? You're telling me this didn't stop, again, the shambling, haggard grocery cart man from trying to set fire to a federal building? I'm shocked.
Point.
I'm surprised.
Great point. Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. Say hi to everybody for us. Mike Bluey, who has said whoosh on CNN, and
You mean
have
Rob?
Not yet. What did I say?
I'm supposed
You
to
said
be
Mike
on
Bluey.
CNN on Monday.
You are going to be on CNN this Monday?
Yeah, have Ken text me like right before and be like, look at Scott Jennings, and wink and just say whoosh, and then I'll do it.
If you do that, this show is yours. I'll hand you over the show.
Oh, don't say that. I'm
All
going
right.
to get tempted.
Tony,
Gentlemen, you guys are the best. You're my favorite segment of the week. It's not even close.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother.
Two guys who said that today.
Appreciate it.
Just saying. Two guys who said the best. So, we have features that we do, Ken.
Yeah.
That's crap. Fake news. Heard it on the X, all that stuff. Those are the standards. Those are the ones we do all the time. Then we have some, like, I don't know what to call them, semi-frequent segments.
Cameo features.
Cameo features. Love it. One's called Hail to the Chief.
Yeah.
And that's next. I like this, by the way. I like this song a lot.
Okay.
It's a river song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
How dare you!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's NewstalkSTL. St. Louis's place to talk.
Freedom of speech is one of the anchors of our society.
NewstalkSTL.
The radical left let crime and drugs pour into our nation, and they let biological men into girls' sports. But here in Missouri, if there's a problem, we fix it. That's why Ann Wagner's fixing the mess the radical left made and delivering for us. Wagner voted to ban biological men from competing in girls' sports, and she voted to fund the police and provide more resources for Border Patrol agents, keeping our families, communities, and children safe. And Ann Wagner didn't stop there. In Congress, Wagner passed the largest working-class tax cut in American history, kept big government out of our business, protected our way of life, and ensured our communities remain safe. That's why Ann Wagner's endorsed by the Missouri Farm Bureau and Missouri Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Ann Wagner for Congress on August 4th.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
NewstalkSTL is celebrating our 5th birthday. And we're giving away a limited edition NewstalkSTL America 250 t-shirts. It's exclusive, it's collectible, and it could be yours. Just head to NewstalkSTL.com to register.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, News Talk.
Been listening since day one. Happy birthday to my talk station.
5 years, happy birthday.
News Talk STL.
NewstalkSTL. Happy birthday to us, and good luck to you.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Yes, I listen on my phone.
Download the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
Love the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
It is awesome.
And listen anytime.
Love the NewstalkSTL app.
Anywhere.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken.
Oh, what's wrong with you? It's either this show or indigestion. I hope it's indigestion. Why? It'll get better in a little while.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Crabby.
No.
Statler and Waldorf. A little crabby. Jay Giles Band. Love Stinks. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Should they, you think? Huh, it's funny you've never mentioned that.
Now, why are you dismissing my claims?
I love Jay Giles Band.
I think they should be in the rock and roll.
I agree.
All right.
Hold on.
Oh.
Love stinks. Whoosh.
All right.
Okay.
Ken's like, remember when Babe Ruth in the 1932 World Series against the Cubs at Wrigley Field? He said, I'm going to hit the next ball right out in the center field. And he did. That's what Ken does. Wait. Okay, let me put the whoosh in here. All right, so now a relatively new feature that we do once in a while. It's called Hail to the Chief. President Trump went to Marietta, Georgia yesterday and he held a rally. And that's okay.
Yeah, promoting the agenda and, just getting people all cranked up about America.
And to attack Jon Ossoff, who, if you remember, this still bugs me to this day, Ken. Jon Ossoff and Warnock, I forget his first name, Senator Warnock. Raphael Warnock, thank you, Ken. Both won Senate seats in the same election in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the president was there, and it was just a great rally talking about powering the American dream and how we got more votes than any candidate in Georgia history.
And I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Georgia with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. And with your help in 2024, we earned more votes than any candidate in Georgia history. There's never been anything like it. And when I say that, I have to be careful because look at all the fake news back there. They will correct me. They will say, he said he earned more.
It's the truth.
If I was 2 votes short, they would say, he's lying. But I have to be careful. No, we weren't. We had more votes than any candidate in the history of this great state, and I'm very proud. I love Georgia. I've always loved it. And every day since, I've been fighting for the people of Georgia like no president has ever fought before, and you're doing well, too. We're going to keep it that way.
So, all the election denier claims from the left, they all seem to start in Georgia.
Yeah.
And, there was just weird stuff going on in 2020 that I think we're allowed to say, hey, that's not cool. So President Trump's address from the White House last week, or maybe I think it was last week from the Oval Office. He started talking about the elections and everything, and he talked about Georgia, and he talked about that he thought that the election. He didn't say the election was rigged, but he was saying weird things happened during that election. And then ABC and NBC did not run that address to the nation. Why is that? I wonder.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, because I'll tell you why. Because they're in on it, and they don't want you to see that. All they want to say is it was the most secure election in history. It's almost like the Daleks on Doctor Who. Did you ever watch Doctor Who?
No.
The Daleks were little robots who were bad, and they would say, exterminate, exterminate.
Okay.
But that's all they ever said. Exterminate.
Oh.
Most secure election in history. Most secure election in history.
Right.
That's what they're like. And they don't want you to see the truth, so they just won't show you the truth. They won't broadcast the truth.
But, Vic, isn't that the move of a fascist or maybe even a socialist or Nazi style?
Exactly. What we say it a million times on the show. In the late 1930s and early 1940s, what was the first thing the Nazis took away from the Jews? Do you remember?
Well, you actually informed me about 2 weeks ago. It was the radios.
Radios. So this is the modern day taking away the Jews' radio because they didn't want the Jews to hear what was going on.
Right.
So they took away the radios.
Well, we're not gonna broadcast that because we don't like it.
Same kind of thing, just not as drastic because there's so many other ways to see it and hear it. But that was their plan, to be like the Nazis that they claim we are.
Right.
And that they claim the president. I can't do this anymore.
You can
I gotta
do
go.
it. No, you can. No, you can.
Okay, and let's hear number 3.
Okay.
On the Islamic Republic of Iran.
This is with this skirmish we have with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and I call it that because let me tell you, they're getting hit so hard, and they want to make a deal. But I say they're not ready to make a deal. Because every time they make a deal, they want to change it and everything. They're not ready. They'll be ready very soon.
I'm for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna cast judgment yet. Here's the biggest problem that I have. What did we go through for the last 4 years of the Biden administration saying we need to give Ukraine $375 billion? Well, guess what? This is the big move that they're trying to make right now on the left. They're saying he has spent $37.5 billion on this war so far.
A lot
this
less.
This war of choice.
It's a lot less.
10 times less.
Yeah.
But at the same time, but my whole point, Vic, is what is going to be the result of this? Terrorism in the Middle East could be virtually over.
Yes. Now, why did let's think about this. Why did Obama and Biden send Iran a lot of money? Why did they do that?
Why?
Détente, right? Oh, they're good people. We can negotiate with them, and they can, become our allies, our friends.
Yeah, I think it was more than that with Obama. But go ahead. I understand what you're saying.
And I'm with you there. But they forgot the poem about the snake.
Right.
And they are the snake. I'm sorry. They are the snake. You heal a snake, you nurse it back to health in your house after it was cold and hurt. And then when it gets better, it bites you. And then the lady says, "Why did you bite me?" And the snake said, "Because I'm a snake."
Yep.
So, and they want a deal. President, you heard him say that they want to make a deal. At this point, the deal is just, okay, stop. We'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm glad he's at this rally. I'm glad he's actually getting us updated on certain things and just showing our stance as a country.
Yep. One of the things. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things at the rally that he talked about is something that he ran on in 2024, and that was no tax on tips.
This past filing season, 130,000 tipped workers right here in Georgia saved an average of more than $7,000 on their taxes. And that's because of no tax on tips.
No tax on tips. That has helped so many people, Ken. You have no idea. Because I've done it, I've done the shipped thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's hard work, because trust me, construction workers, that's hard work. But you shop for somebody, One guy ordered 3 32-bottle cases of water. You know how heavy those are?
Oh, yeah.
And I had to bring it up to his 3rd-floor apartment. And so the tips...
I remember when you did that.
Oh, God, Ken. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. So anyway, the point is, when people work, and trust me, waiting on tables is tough work.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you any different. And if you make taxes, that should not be taxed. When you get tips, you shouldn't get that. All right, forget it. Number 5, Kenny.
Yep.
Georgia workers saved an average of $3,000 thanks to the no tax on overtime.
As an example, 700,000 Georgia workers saved an average of over $3,000 thanks to no tax on overtime. And 500,000 Georgia seniors paid $0 on their Social Security benefits thanks to no tax on Social Security.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President, for that. Now, the Cole Lawton, former Kennesaw State football player and Georgia resident, his family was there, is that right?
Yes, his family was there up on the stage, Vic. And if you listen to the very beginning, people are oohing and eyeing because a little boy reached up and grabbed President Trump's hand. And then President Trump leaned over and he patted the head on the other child and then held his hand the whole time. And I'm watching so closely because behind him were the people watching and they're taking pictures. But when the little boy, you could almost see that he looked like he was trying to pull away possibly, but he wasn't. He was smiling. And when he turned and waved, everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cute."
How old is this kid?
He is probably 5.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Thank you, Mr. President, and the White House staff for allowing my family to be a part of this special event. It is truly an honor. Thank you, Mr. President, and your administration for the hard work and commitment that that made the Trump account possible. As a father, it's encouraging to know that our children's future can begin with an investment from day one. To every eligible new parent, I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity by opening a Trump account for your child and continuing to invest in it each and every year. Mr. President, thank you for your continued commitment to investing in American families. And on behalf of my wife and me, thank you for providing our children with a greater opportunity to pursue and achieve their American dream. Thank you, and God bless America.
And the Trump accounts, Ken.
Yeah.
If a kid is smart, well, if their parents are smart when they're really little, and keep donating, not donating, but keep adding to that Trump account, by the time the kid's 18, it could be worth $1 million already.
Well, not only that, but from what I understand, that you can also, as a parent, if the child, I think, is under 18, that you can open up an account with but you have to put the money in yourself. Of course. But you can still open a Trump account for them as well.
Yeah, it's great. So thanks, Mr. President, for going down to Marietta, Georgia. Appreciate that. Chat box is next. Many thanks to Ed Stoit, who saved my ass because I opened up the Rumble thing late.
Thanks, Ed.
And that's next on News Talk STL.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen.
True international average of pressure.
Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen.
I mean, it doesn't involve our institution.
I just...
She knows so long as she...
Made in St. Louis, for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Love stinks.
Colombo and Company.
Trump says he'll bomb one Iranian bridge or power plant for every ship attacked in the Strait of Hormuz moving forward. We'll discuss the increased military action Thursday, plus Mo Rep Travis Wilson, Virginia Kruta, and Dr. Randy Tobler.
Live and local, weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL.
Hi, I'm Jen Wallner.
And I'm Rodney Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Rodney, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission rate?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
When's the best time to sell your home?
Right now. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
Hey, it's Vic Porcelli. We're sitting here with our great friend, Chris Cooper. Hi, Chris.
What's going on, Vic? How are you?
I hear you wrote another book. This one's an e-book. Is that right?
The Business Owner's Playbook for Financial Clarity. So it is a great book for entrepreneurs. It's a very short guide. Give people, business owners, the ability to understand key questions that are important, such as succession planning, legacy planning, getting the IRS out of our pockets, right? Because do you like paying taxes?
I do not.
I don't think anybody likes paying taxes, right? That just makes sense. And then always talking about protection. And then the other thing from a business owner perspective, what is the biggest asset a business owner has? Probably their business itself, right? We need to make sure we understand what the value of that business is as well.
So this new book, I'm sure, is incredibly expensive, right? How much?
No, it's a free resource.
Oh, it's free.
We provide guidance, we provide education because we want to make sure people feel educated and understanding because sometimes you don't know what questions to ask, and we need to make sure we help arm people with information to ask the right question.
Reach out to Chris and Stacy today at SerenityWealthNow.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors, LLC.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise Pack.
I believe that together we can make...
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Always one for the truckers. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Well, you guys who can speak English and read English signs.
Yes.
And have a CDL license that's valid.
Correct.
All right, Kenny, let's do the chat box. Many thanks again to Ed Stoit, who saved me. Hopkins got us. Hopkins, where's Hopkins?
What's up, buddy?
Good morning, Vic and Ken. Ed said, darn it, Deuce. Good day from Little Rock, Arkansas. That is, I think that's Gene the Dancing Machine. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
No fair chat box.
No peace.
Good morning, Patriots. Stepped on again. What? President, communism turns everything to poop. Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump. Good morning, all you beautiful MAGA, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, garbage, degenerate, freedom-fighting, God-friendly, big-head weirdos.
Wish.
Damn it.
Because
Hey!
you'd be in jail.
Hey!
Hey!
It's good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Sorry, Ed, thought you were done. I guess Mark stepped on. Good morning, Vic George Jetson. Hey, didn't go off today. I don't know anybody money today.
Well,
nobody.
No, but we were expecting it now. Now it's almost like
that's not.
Hey, what happened? It didn't go off.
So then I don't pay any money. What are you trying to do?
I don't know.
Sounds like you're trying to get $20 out of me.
A little bit.
Forget about it.
A little bit.
Hi, Karen. How you doing? Ask Karen about Hannity. She posted, oh, it's funny. I did do that. That's because my heritage is Polish, Lithuanian with an American accent. Jazzy crock of is full of it. Her statistics
We in these hot ass streets, honey.
lies. And Jazzy probably hasn't defended a white person. Who knows?
No.
Liar!
Yeah, she claims that she did. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe that sounds a little racy too, though. But she may have, but I don't know how sincere she was about defending them.
It doesn't sound like she likes us.
No, she sounds very much like she does not like a white person.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's a racist. I'm just saying.
Oh, I am.
Ken's saying she's a Allison says, good morning, freedom fighters, Vic and Ken. You bet. We are out there fighting for freedom all the time. Breaking news, contractor on the Obama obelisk has had to lay off 25 employees to avoid bankruptcy since Obama owes his plumbing company $4 million.
Apparently, that's not the only people that they owe for that monstrosity.
They didn't pay anybody, looks like. 25 union employees, 25 good-paying union jobs.
There is a storm in our nation. There is darkness and wind.
Is that Spartacus? That was Spartacus.
It was Spartacus.
Imagine if Trump Organization wasn't paying a contractor right now. Oh my God. Oh, my God.
24/7.
Oh.
There'd be a ticker on how much money in the Chiron he owed.
Polling is worthless. It's gerrymandered to fit a narrative at a time to use advertising for a selected candidate or issue. But, you know what? When Harry Enton says something on CNN, I tend to believe that more than other NBC polls that are run on NBC.
Yes. You have to go, but you have to go with the sources. Here's what I go by also, the history. Like when I look at a poll, real clear polling, they're good. Rasmussen, I think, is good. Some people don't like them, but I do. Could be because of their track record, their history. And Harry Enton, he has a great history of his polling.
So I think maybe, poll results should not be the one indicator of who you vote for. Right?
No.
I mean, it's. So here's how polling, I think, would go. Hi, here's a poll. You think polling? Donald Trump sucks, right? Okay, put you down for sucks.
He sucks.
Wish.
And if you vote based only on a poll, you're an idiot.
Correct.
If all your friends jump off a cliff, would you? I guess if Johnny Finnegan jumped off the Empire State Building, you'd jump off the Empire State Building, right?
Sounds so parental.
They hit us, so we hit them back.
That's it. So Vic, you said Ken is the co-host. Are you remaining the show like Hannity used to be? Hannity and Combs, Porcelli and Williams. Here's the big difference about this show and Hannity and Combs. There was two different points of view. Kenny and I are on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, with this show, this is the Vic Porcelli Show. It's always going to be. That's the way it is. It's a touchy subject for me. I just want to be involved.
Yep, me too. Deli Day with Vic and co-host Ken Williams, the egg cream virgin. You are an egg cream virgin.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'll have pastrami on rye, either Dijon, please, or with Dijon. Excuse me. Do you have any Grey Poupon?
I remember that. That's a great commercial. That was a great campaign, man.
Really was. And let me tell you, Wayne's World parried it in the first Wayne's World movie. And
oh, yeah, he did.
Wayne says, excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon? So this is another one of the privileged moments of my life when I was program director at DHA. I wish I never did it, but there was a car to come and get us to bring us into New York at least twice a week, if not more. And this one place we go, kids could come. So we brought Chris. So we're in New York City, Manhattan. You know, traffic all around. We're at a red light. And Chris opens the window and he says to the guy, excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon?
That's so Chris.
The guy laughed.
That's great.
It's so Chris, isn't it?
Well, I've never met Chris as an adult. I've only known him as a kid. But I guarantee you, I know him more now than I think I even did back then.
Yeah. Hey, Vic, baby. Ken, darling, whatever.
Hey, how you doing?
And all you Vic heads, I'm at the dentist. We'll check in again after Dr. Ohms and Cusimano, who I believe advertise on this radio station, supporting the people who support our station. There you go.
Yeah, I love that. By the way, I'm going to get a filling that came out tonight.
Paul Spool,
yeah,
our AmVets friend, says sexy ball cap, Ken. What do you got going on there?
I got 66 celebration. It's Route 66 celebration.
Anything to do with the AmVets?
No.
Why is his hat sexier than anything I got? I got
cool,
a
though. It's pretty cool, though.
Ken, it's okay if you voted for Slick Willie, just as long as you don't vote for Hillary.
Right. Well, no, I didn't.
Right. Ken goes right.
Right. Well, but back then I didn't know. All I knew is certain policies, and he did bring in some good things. He was very even toned back then.
Yeah, and he knows a good cigar when he sees one.
He really does.
Vic, take down the picture of sandwiches. I'm getting hungry. They're gone, right? Pictures are gone. Great interview, Vic, and you ask questions and let Ken answer. Vic better than Hannity any day. Ken's easy, though, because he knows, I won't interrupt him.
Bad llama.
Michael Letts and Stan Clement from Roots Plus sound alike. I've never seen them in the same place at the same time.
Well, what's funny is because you mentioned that yesterday, one of the Vic Heads did. And now, when I heard Michael Letts, I pictured Stan Clement.
They could be the same person.
We don't know, because we've never seen them together.
Yeah, you guys doing the best show in America. We are also at the highest threat level in years against federal politicians. Scary stuff, these threat levels. These high domestic threat levels are because of the Looney Tune left turds and loony media. Vic and Ken, we are all a bit selfish. We want your show to ourselves, but we'd understand if you went syndicated. What are you trying to say, man? I don't know if I want to get syndicated. Do you want to get syndicated?
That would have to be a whole different process, wouldn't it? I mean, we're local. We're live and local, man.
That's what I love.
And I do too. Yeah, that would be a whole different thing.
But feel free to bring it up with our boss. It's fine. The loony left.
MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
Yeah, I can't even keep up listening. How can she keep up saying it? The loony left provokes and promotes violence against conservatives. That's DOW, our friend. Tony is a friend of ours. The sarcastic Hoosier. Bird was awesome. Not AARP, but an AMAC card. What bird? Did we talk about Larry Bird?
Larry Bird, we did, because he's from out there. Out there in Hoosier land.
Right.
And AMAC, by the way, yes. Become a member, because I am.
Tell me about it.
Well, AARP, you give them money each year.
I know that.
Okay, and they will fund left-wing lobbyists. AMAC is the opposite of that, and they're actually getting stronger.
they'll donate to conservatives?
Yes.
Perfect.
They do. I mean, and you'll get a weekly newsletter, and then they'll mail you magazines and such.
AMAC.
As well.
AMAC's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie. That's just a comment. Always says
That's all
Sophie.
it is, man.
And it's got a bunch of hands pointing like Sophie.
Yep.
Transgender is the only mental illness demanding that the rest of society adopt the patient's solutions as part of the patient's treatment. Great show today, guys. Thank you, Vicky. As opposed to all the other crap we do every other day.
Sure.
God. How much of that money found its way back to Barry? Yeah. What about kickbacks on all that Iranian money?
Right. And how do you follow that? Some of that, the trillions of dollars that have been taken from the treasury of this nation. How do we follow all that? As far as we know, they could be offshore accounts for every single left-wing Democrat that's done it in the past.
Right. Barry says no deal. Reagan screwed tipped employees. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Donald Trump is trying to make everything better for everyone.
He really is. And you know what? My wife and my family have benefited from the restaurant industry for many, many years. And she says it's working. I mean, she said that's
that's great. That's
deal.
real comments from real people in real time.
Yes.
FJB, what's that mean? FJB?
I'm not sure. I don't even want to attempt that.
Would have sniffed that kid at the rally.
Or pinched him.
Right. Squirrel bets. Ed Stoit is the bookie.
Squirrel.
There he is. My syndicated comment was to pump you all up for the boss. Is the check in the mail? Have a blessed day.
I will send that out there.
That is great strategy, though. Right?
I like that.
Make us say on the air, hey, you guys should be syndicated.
Hey, Vic Heads.
So we got a meeting with the boss today.
Right.
You guys are great. Maybe you should be syndicated. Well, I'll be damned.
No, we had nothing to do with that.
No.
Vic Heads said it.
That's right. Bill Harrison says, good morning, Vic Heads. Had to catch up yesterday with the podcast. Work took us out skeet shooting. Wow.
Nice.
Have you ever done that?
No.
I can't even imagine shooting something that's moving. There's got to be a sense of you got to shoot before I don't know. But it sounds like fun.
Lead with it.
Sounds like fun. Kathleen says, good morning, fam. Bam. Thursday, whoosh, everybody. Whoosh. Jason Headley. Is it Heady or Headley?
I don't know.
It's Heady.
Then it's Heady.
Headley. Sean Hannity is the Rachel Maddow of Fox News. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tom. Kilmeade, Hannity, O'Reilly. Can't stand them anymore. Well, that's why
You must have got manure for your brains.
belong right here. Headley.
Heady.
Look at what an invasive species does to the environment. Then make the same comparisons to the Islamic invasion.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very heavy. And then there's us, the thoughtful ones. We just say it like we see it. Maybe Election Day should be on Election Day. Maybe bring back Election Day. Maybe make elections integral again. Election Day.
Let's do that.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got. That's everybody. No grievances. The union does get special compensation for helping me out there. Oh, you know what, Ken? Can we do one more for
Go
Gene,
ahead.
the dancing machine?
Yes.
Because he slipped one in there at the end, at the very end of the chat box. Can you play Gene's? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what it says.
I know, but
blame Ken, everybody.
It's my fault, everybody.
All right.
Bad llama.
Thank you for having Thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
The
award-winning show,
Jamie Allman, 3 Martini Lunch, is next.
See you,
That's
everybody.
just not fair.
Bye.
Whoosh. Analysis, opinion.
Tyler Robinson's lawyers had tried to delay this day.
Surveillance video shows Tyler Robinson on the campus of Utah Valley University.
101.9 and 94.1.
Number 1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL. State Freedom Caucus, Unfiltered. Sunday nights at 7 on News Talk STL. Hear all the behind-the-scenes stories about what the State Freedom Caucus is doing across the country, directly from the legislators and the people that are doing it.
State Freedom Caucus, Unfiltered, this Sunday night at 7 with your host, Tim Jones. State Freedom Caucus, Unfiltered, now Sunday nights at 7 on News Talk STL.
Hey, it's Tony Colombo, and it's tough to pick, but my favorite sandwich at Capriotti's is the cheesesteak with a side of Cap's awesome fries. Visit Capriotti's now at 2 locations on Manchester at McKnight and Rock Hill, and now in Creve Coeur on Olive, just 1 mile west of 270.
Ronald Reagan once famously said, "Government is not the solution, government is the problem." When it comes to economic growth, government can be a roadblock. With red tape, regulations, and subsidies, government stifles entrepreneurship and also props up businesses that deserve to go under. Unlike government, free markets encourage risk-taking, freedom to succeed or fail. Governments shouldn't be picking winners and losers, the market should. Free markets benefit the business owner and the customer by encouraging competition. Free Market enabled a young man named J.C. Hall selling picture postcards in Kansas City to turn his idea into Hallmark cards. In St. Louis, the Free Market made it possible for Adolphus Busch to turn his father-in-law's local beer into the world's largest brewery. A free market also means you get to send your kids to the school of your choice. Learn more about free markets at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Tensions are boiling over in the Middle East, this time inside a major shipping highway for Europe and Asia, as Yemen's Houthi rebels claim an attack on Saudi oil tankers.
The Iran-backed Houthi rebels said early Thursday they'd attacked 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, and the U.S. military has conducted a 12th night of strikes against Iran as the 2 countries vie for control of vital shipping lanes. The Houthi attacks threaten to open a new front in a war that has roiled the global economy, sending prices for fuel and other goods surging across the world. With the standoff in the Gulf deepening, there are no signs of progress in diplomatic efforts to end the conflict, while U.S. Central Command says its strikes were designed to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten civilian mariners and commercial vessels transiting regional waters. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says you can expect the Democrats to pursue a government shutdown